All right, Adam. I was trying to talk. There we check. Welcome everybody to week number 6 here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. This time we're taking on Darlington Raceway, and we've had 5 different winners so far this season. My name is William Tiller. I am joined tonight, my co-host of the evening, Adam Flieger. And Adam, usually you're behind the decks, controlling all the camera angles, controlling everything that the folks at home see here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. But here tonight, you're going to do a bit of commentating. What do you think about tonight's race here at Darlington?
Can you hear me? There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're having some mic issues here on my end, but we'll get it
See if we
straightened out
can't
here.
get Adam up on the mic there for just a second. He's usually the one controlling the microphones. But here tonight, as I mentioned, we've had 5 different winners so far in this series. It's very tight at the top of the table. There's a lot of names starting to push their way through here this season. As we're going to take a look at qualifying taking place currently right now. We'll see who's going to start at the top of the grid here tonight. Take a look at Darlington Raceway here. It's a track that everybody is familiar with. A little bit different though, as you see 1 and 2 is a bit wider, as you see 3 and 4 is a little bit more narrower as you come to that start finish line here tonight. As everybody is aware, there's no fast repairs in this series, so to be aware of those drivers, your favorite drivers inside of that pack, to see what happens here tonight. But tonight, all the drivers will be rocking special rims on their trucks, special purple rims tonight as the K Goble Memorial Race here. And Kay was a beloved member of the iRacing community. Watched a lot of races here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network and across all different leagues. Support, cheering on, everything above. We want to wish Kay's family all the best here, as all the drivers will be rocking those purple rims here tonight. And hopefully, Adam, we have you up on the microphone here tonight. It's good to be joining with you up here in the booth as always. And what are your thoughts about tonight's race?
Well, I think we're going to be good. I'm just trying to get the mic worked out here so that we don't get an echo too bad between you and I. As I said, I don't know what's going on with it, but we'll get it straightened out. I'm not sure, though, why we're in replay mode.
All right, looks like we're still having a bit of technical difficulties getting Adam up on the microphone here tonight. But in that meantime, I will... Oh, there we go. Adam, we got you. We can hear you now.
Out.
Okay, just a bit of technical difficulties here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Until we can get that figured out, I'll carry it on here tonight as we're watching qualifying. Still taking place here. No cars currently on the track just yet. So he's going to be starting on the top of the grid here at Darlington. Now, this is a track, as everybody's familiar with, as I just mentioned, but it's a very difficult track here. It's a track that you have to pick your points on this racetrack. It's a track that might kind of intimidate you at first. You're going to get comfortable, and then towards the end of this race, you're going to find out why they call it Darlington Raceway. But here tonight, we're going to be rocking 25 laps in stage number 1. We'll wave that caution flag, let the grid get bunched back up. Stage number 2 will happen around lap 55, and then we'll race it down for about 145 laps will be the end. They'll end at around lap 150 here tonight. Might be off on that math here, but that's why I'm a commentator, not a mathematician. As mentioned, there are no fast repairs in this series. The drivers are going to be rocking with a 75% fuel capacity. 4 sets of tires on these trucks here tonight as well. We're going to do 2 green-white checkers. And the way the racing has been this season, we might need those 2 overtime green-white checkers at the end of this race. We'll be rocking in the afternoon time setting as well. And Adam, I don't know if we got you on there or not, my man, but if you want to go ahead and tell the folks...
I think you might get me now.
There we go. If you want to tell the folks at home, what are we in store for here tonight at Darlington?
Definitely a tough track. With I think it turns 3 and 4 or being wide, or is it turns 3 and 4 being narrow? I forget which way I'm oriented here.
1 and 2 is a bit more wider, and then 3 and 4 is more narrow there.
I know, I'm not sure if, because Martinsville they call the paperclip. I don't know if this one's got a name for it or not. But this is Darlington, and I think it's Darlington that we look out for the Darlington stripe.
Right. As you're going to come off at 3 and 4, it's going to be very tight off of those corners here. It's going to make the drivers bunch up a lot when they come to that start-finish line here. And, this is a track that's a little bit, off the pace of Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'd say it's probably about 2.5, 3 hours away from the main hub of NASCAR. There's a track, I would say, it kind of gets forgotten of all those East Coast tracks. Of course, you have Martinsville, you have Bristol, you have Charlotte in the mix right there. Atlanta's kind of misthought as well. It's almost the same formation as Charlotte. But here at Darlington, a track that's sandwiched between all of those well-known tracks, the track, as we just mentioned, Adam, is going to be very difficult here tonight, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have our 6th different winner on this season so far. But here we go. We have that grid up on the left-hand corner of your screen here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. And if you check it out there, you got Blake Lothian in second. You got Neil in that 72 at the top of the grid right now, running 29.73. Nate Mallard right there, who's had an excellent season in that 971. Still wanting to break out, though, in that 971 machine right there in third. You got Adam Newbert in that 4 machine in fourth. Robbie Richards been very strong this season as well. Adam right there in the 5th position. Morales in 6th. White in 7th. Tribune, another driver that's wanting to break through here pretty soon, in 8th. Hess in 9th. And Daniels is currently our top 10 with about a minute to go here in this qualifying session.
All right, do we have a better chat on me now?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
I got it fixed to where now it's working the way I want it to.
We gotcha. So, Adam, there we go. As we have you on here, and we're waiting for this qualifying session to end here, we've had 5 different winners. Do you see us having a 6th here? And if you do, what are some of the names that pop off that grid for you?
With the way these races have been, it's so hard to really decide who could be at the top of the leaderboard here at the ending of this. Pitch strategy, I know, has come into play in so many races that I've watched, whether it be at this league or another league. Pitch strategy seems to be key in some of these shorter tracks.
Yeah, definitely strategies are going to be key here. Watch stage number 1, how those drivers handle that, how they enter in those first wave of pit stops. That'll be a good indication of how the rest of this race will proceed. Or for some of these drivers, it's a little bit of an okey-doke move there at the start of the race. Adam, they'll show one strategy and then they'll switch it up towards the end, especially in that last half of the race that we're going to be looking at around maybe less than about 100 laps to go at the very end. Talking about those point standings here as we're waiting qualifying to wrap up here. Justin White's at the top of the table right now. He has 1 win, 4 top 5s, 4 top 10s. And you got Robbie Richards right there in that 48 machine, has a win, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s. And you have Sean Hamilton right there as well with a win, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s. Brady LaBeouf, the boss man's right there in the 4th position with a win, 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. Steve Barnett is right there as well. Last week's winner is currently 5th in the table with 1 win, 1 top 5, and 2 top 10. So that's our top 5 currently. But here we go, Adam. The starting grid is ready to rock and roll here in the Goble Memorial 200. Let's rock and roll. Adam, you started off.
Starting on pole, we got Doug Neal. In second is Blake Lothian. Third's going to be Nate Maurer. Adam Newbert there will be in fourth. Back there in row 3, in fifth position is going to be Robert Richards. Sixth will be Jason Morales. Justin White's going to start seventh. To his outside is Kerry Tribute. In ninth will be Kyle Hess. Tyler Daniels will be rounding out your top 10.
And then at 11th, it's going to be Sean Hamilton in that 89 machine. 12th, it's going to be Brian True in that 51 right there. He's had a pretty strong season. A lot of these drivers have had great runs to start off the season. Just had bad luck at the end of these races. Past Brian True right there in the 12th position. Wait for my screen to refresh here, Adam, but we're going to look at past the 12th position there, Brian True, as we're waiting the cars to start coming off here as the pace truck's going to get us around the track here at Darlington. Just waiting for that screen to refresh for me here. Here we go. Justin Lumpkin will roll off 13th. Tyler Thurman in that one machine, 14th. 15th will be last week's winner, Steve Barnett. Ron Hunter in 16th. We see Jonathan Wiley right there in 17th. Brandon Broadfoot in 18th. Then we have Chris Branchard right there in 19th. And then Brady LaBeouf in 20th.
All right, 21st position is going to be Charles Keller Jr. And 22nd is Dan Matthews. 23rd goes to Cody Sanderson. 24th will be Brett Wilbers. I hope I said that right. 25th is going to be Brandon Bullock. 26th will be Tim Hammond.
Go ahead and finish it off, my man.
Yeah, Donnie Lyons will be 27th. 28th goes to Dan.
Check.
Dane Hagen, I think that's right. Mike Allen in 29th. Jason Stevenson there in 30th. You want to finish us out there, Will?
You got it, my man. Go ahead and finish it off.
Alrighty, we got a Huck Wigington there in 31st. 32nd will go to Raul Meza. 33rd is Eric Zimmerman. 34th will be Cody Knott. And I didn't catch who our 35th position is. It looks like it's Eric. Oh, no. Why is Eric Zimmerman back there? I don't know. Huck Wigington's back there, too. I don't know what happened to my scoring sheet here, but it got goofed up as we're under green flag here.
There we go. The green flag is officially in the air here tonight at Darlington. This is lap number 1 of the Goble Memorial 200. We're rocking and rolling in week number 6 of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. As our Blake Lothian in that 43 truck is back in the lead right now, coming off of Ford. Made quick work of Neil at the top of the grid as we head down to corner number 1. Blake Lothian is leading in that 43 truck, and he is rocking those purple rims here tonight. And Adam, if you remember last week's race, Blake had a heck of a run there in that race. Just couldn't close the doors. Actually won by Barnett in that 42 truck. But we look at those standings there. Blake Lothian has had a heck of a season of his own. Just hasn't been able to close the door just yet. You know, looking at those point standings, you're looking down. You know, he's hard to catch on the point standings right now. But he's a driver that raced very hard last week. Just couldn't get the job done. But he's an actual Craftsman truck driver himself.
You say Lothian is a Craftsman truck driver?
He is.
That's pretty good. We're going to have a name like that in here with us.
It's very cool indeed. Looking at last week's race, you see, looking all the way down the grid there, for Lothian's name, we raced at Bristol last week. Not seeing him in the mix. You're looking at Bristol. Looking at that here as we're watching the race right there. That's Tyler Thurman in that one machine, rocking a different paint scheme here tonight. Usually rocking that all blue with the yellow. Here tonight, rocking a little bit of a different paint scheme with those purple rims. I see Tyler Thurman's going to go down into the corner right now. He's holding off Brady LaBeouf right there in that 9 truck. And you see everybody single file around the racetrack so far across the start-finish line. And Adam, as you're starting to see them get a little bit comfortable here on lap number 5, you know, you're not seeing anybody really go too low on the racetrack. Everybody's going to go high on 1 and 2. Down the straight here, they're going to stay high as well. When do you see everybody start to, bunch up or make passes here at Darlington?
I think they're going to take it easy right now, try to get the trucks figured out, make sure they got the setups kind of where they want them. Make sure, they understand the setups they have on these trucks. But I think for right now, they're going to stay single file. Maybe once we get towards maybe 3/4 of the way through the stage, whenever that stage wind comes into play, that might be when we start seeing more aggressive passing.
Indeed, but looking at those point standings, I don't believe they got updated from last week because it looks like Nathan Maurer won the race last week in that 971 machine, but he's not registered as a win on the points table, so we'll have to check with that and see here tonight. But here tonight, we take on Darlington here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Everybody's still single file around 1 and 2 right now. You see Morales right there in that 5. Robbie Richards in the 48 right there as well, rocking that all purple paint scheme to go with the purple rims. But here we go, down the backstretch right now. You see Morales in that 5, Robbie Richards in that 40. Everybody, like you said, Adam, looks to be just getting comfortable on the racetrack, trying to find their grooves, find their lines. You see Robbie Richards creeping up on the 971 of Nate Maurer right there. Has that draft. See if he makes a move to the inside of 1 right now. Doesn't make the move. He's going to stay right behind that 971 around 1 and 2. Still single file here on lap number 8.
One thing I want to touch on. One thing I wanted to try to touch on is with that 5 truck. I think I saw somewhere that it's a throwback paint scheme.
That does look like a bit of a throwback paint scheme. I'm thinking maybe the Wrangler paint scheme of Dale Earnhardt, back in those days.
No, I think something about, I don't remember where I saw it. I thought it was a throwback to his dad's old mini truck or something.
Oh, okay, there we go. And as we're talking about Morales here in that 5 truck with the throwback paint scheme, we're joined by now one of our co-hosts of the evening, Michael McKinnon. And Michael, it's good to have you up in the booth, my man. We're on lap number 9, so you didn't miss much. Just a bit of qualifying in the first couple laps here. Been single file so far here at Darlington. No passes for the moves, but it's being dominated by Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. What do you see playing out here at Darlington?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be with you tonight, fellas. I hope everything's good and you can hear me well, right? That's my connection in the big truck here. How's it sound?
It sounds great.
All right. Well, what I expect, Blake is really good here. He's going to follow up his performance at Bristol. I expect him to lead a lot of laps, but the track will change as it takes rubber. These guys are being smart, in my opinion, getting out here single file. Wait for the tire wear to show up, and then we'll see who's got what later on.
Yeah, see, it just looks like in this point of the race, it's going to race to about lap 35 over the end of stage number 1. It just seems as though everybody's just trying to get comfortable in their truck, starting to feel this track. What makes Darlington such a difficult track to where you got to get comfortable here in these first couple laps?
Well, turn 1 doesn't look like a difficult turn, but it is a little bit too high. It throws you into the wall. Your premium line, you want to go very bottom up to the wall, and then what most people forget, you have to just burp the throttle a little bit to get the truck to turn off of 2 and get a run. And then, of course, 3 and 4, the big sweeping turn. Too deep there, you're going to get a stripe real quick. Oh, got a little problem back here. Let's see if we stay green.
Let's see if we stay green. Indeed, looks like just a 1-truck incident here right now. Yep, going to still stay green here on the racetrack. And this is the K Goble Memorial 200 here tonight. As you see, some of the drivers are rocking those purple rims in honor of that here tonight. But still going to race it down to lap 35. We'll throw that caution out. But as you mentioned, Mike, right now is Blake Lothian in the top of the grid in that 43 truck. Last week at Bristol, for some reason, he's a ghost in the point standings because his name doesn't pop up at all. But we can't miss him, though, in that 43 truck on the racetrack, the way he races. And like you said, Mike, just picking up from Darlington and then picking up from Bristol here to Darlington. Looks like he made quick work at Neal at the top of the grid. Doesn't really matter where he qualifies. He just finds a way to get to the top of the grid.
100%. For those that don't know that are watching right now, Blake is a late model racer. He had 3 or 4 starts in the trucks last year, so he races these in real life. He's looking for sponsorship right now, so if anybody wants to help him out, try to get that full-time ride, that'd be great. Just try to contact him on Facebook or however you can find him. But, he is aggressive, but what he has learned is he's being cautiously aggressive now. Instead of just hammer down 24 hours a day, he's starting to figure out the racing aspect, and he's as strong as they come. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, and Mike, exactly what you said. I finally found it in our records here. Blake Lothian was the one that won last week at Bristol Motor Speedway. It shows Nate Maurer right there at the top of those results, but Nate Maurer led 54 laps and lost that race by almost 3 full seconds. So Blake was able to win at Bristol by almost 3 seconds. How difficult that is. I remember that race, though, Mike, as you were talking about that, he made quick work of that lap traffic, put some buffers between him and Nate Maurer, and won that race with ease. And it was Barnett who won that race before at Michigan in the Blanchard Stowing 200. So we've had 5 different winners on the season so far, going for a 6th here tonight. But it looks like we have a caution on the track because we have a replay here, Mike.
Yeah, let's see what happened there. I've seen them side by side going into one, and that is not where you want to be. So let's see if that's where it occurred or if we're able to find out what's going on right here. I didn't see anything personally as we were focused on the lead. We will see what Adam can dig up for us.
Here we go. We got this replay queued up here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We'll see who this. There's the 88 truck right there. After he won it just a bit there. I think so. They're in the 88. Won it just a little bit. Looks to be a single truck incident there. He's going to come off low off of 4 there. The 88's going to be to the inside.
Looked like he may have had a little connection issue. That's why we couldn't pick it up so fast. But get someone here get a little tight.
Yeah, and you see him sliding a little bit off the center line there of 3 and 4. But it looks like maybe he just slid up the track just a little bit trying to get that thing correct and makes contact with the truck to the high side. We'll see it. This is a perfect view right here. And you're going to see on the middle of 3 and 4, he's going to start to slide just a little bit right here. You see that truck wiggle just a little bit. He's going to try to correct it here on that center line. He's already sliding again to the right. Yeah, and it looks like a little 50-50 incident there, Mike. You saw the 88 get loose. He's trying to correct it. You see that nose drift up to the top side there. The other truck's going to come down low. They made contact. The 88's going to get the worst of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wasn't able to quite tell who that was, but for people watching at home, once again, being an analyst, I'll try to help here. This is about as realistic as you get. And when this truck touches this seam, watch him get the seam with the left rear. About the time he wants to put the gas down, spins it straight down in, just trying to catch the truck. That's just a racing incident, and it's just, it's a tough break for the 88 right there. It's just nothing he could do at that point.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do. Once you start to feel that truck slide, as the 88 was trying to correct that truck come off of 3 and 4, he was wiggling, he was wagging, he was trying to get that thing right. Looked like he had just gotten it straight enough there, and the nose wiggled on him just a little bit more, which forced that contact. And Mike, you know as anybody there, once you start to slide just either to the right or to the left, no matter what you do on that steering wheel, you're going to go for a ride.
Yeah, 100%. And then, people watching at home may say, well, why don't you just let off the gas there and catch the truck? Not that easy when you got somebody right on your rear bumper, because if you let off, that guy's going to spin you around. There's really not a whole lot to be done right there. It's just a racing incident.
Indeed.
Now we will see who's saving tires or not right here. This will stack them back up, and if the guys in the back have been saving a little more than these guys, it'll show right here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Is going to wait till everybody grids back up. And I believe here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I believe I may have told you a little bit of a wrong number there. We're going to race stage 1 down to lap 25, not 35 here tonight. Stage 2 will be 55 with a total lap count of being 150. As I mentioned to start off this broadcast, no fast repairs for these trucks here tonight. Well, we've seen drivers, though, Mike, get their trucks back out there, finish the race, get those all-important points that you need to carry you into those playoffs. Only 4 sets of tires on these trucks here tonight, so these drivers have a lot to think about inside the cockpit.
So they'll have 3 changes. That means if they take one at the end of the stage here, into stage 2, they're going to have to go right at 45 to 47 laps on each set in the last stage. So I'm going to almost assume you'll see some guys not pit here and just try to save till the end of stage 2.
We're going to probably see a lot of caution flags as well, because as that tire wear starts to build on these trucks and those drivers try to push the envelope to make sure they're inside that top 10, inside that top 5 there at the end, those trucks are going to get very, very loose. You're going to see a lot more bumping. You're going to see a lot more tapping those fenders here as this race proceeds. But right now, as the pace truck's going to take us down into the corner here, it's going to be Blake Lothian taking us to the line. You got Newbert there on the outside there, made quick work of the field as well in that Ford truck. But here we go. Barney the flagman is ready with the flag inside of his perch up there. He is ready to wave the green flag as the pace truck's going to peel off here off of 4. We're going to go green flag racing once again in the K Goble Memorial 200 as they come across the line. We are green flag racing down into 1.
And it's very important for these guys here not to push too hard on the outside. You want to keep your position, of course, but if you go too hard, you're going to be stuck in the outside wall very, very quickly.
Yeah, and Lothian with a big restart there, already taking the high side around. As you see the rest of the field is going to try to smoothly go around 1 and 2 right now. It's more of a wide corner as we spoke about here to start off this broadcast. We're single file down the backstretch right now. Not a lot of movement here, just a few passes here on the low side of the grid. A few other drivers are trying to find that draft, find people to work with here on lap 21. Just a few laps to go here in stage number 1. These that's contact with the wall there. Trying to see which truck that was that briefly brushed the wall there, Mike. Is going to cross this line on lap 22. We have 4 laps to go here in stage number 1.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell who it was, but that's not going to be the last time you see that, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to happen over and over tonight. All I can do is wait, get off the wall, put the gas back down. Really no damage, I'm sure. Too bad right there. So back in line and see what you can do.
Yeah, as we come off of 4 right now, looks like we had Adam Newbert trying to put the heat on Blake Lothian up there with that 43 truck. We had a battle for the lead pursuing right there. Newbert's right on the back bumper of that 43. The 43 is going to pull off just a little bit here as we enter into corner number 1. That 43 truck's going to get wiggled right there on the apex of 1 and 2, though. As we come down the backstretch, looks like Adam Newbert's lost just a little bit of pace here at the end of the stage as we dig down at the corner number 3. Still Blake Lothian in the lead in that 43 truck.
That's a perfect example right there. What we're talking about is you exit corner 2. If you're a little too hard, you think you're going to come off faster. You're not. You're going to slide. You have to give that a little bit of a burp, turn it down, and run it off the hill. And Blake did a fantastic job with it right there.
Yeah, he's just picking up where he left off at Bristol, Mike.
Yeah, looking real, real strong. Got another one off on the side here. Can't quite tell who it is. Then keep rolling. Maybe we don't go yellow. We're going to be okay. That's a dangerous thing there when you get down there and disconnect. He thought it might bring out the caution, but we're going to go ahead and stay green. That's a good thing, especially for Newbert right now.
We're going to stay green here as we head down right now. This is the last lap of stage number 1. Blake Lothian's going to take us to round 1 and 2 right now. Adam Newbert looked like he had a huge run off of 4. See if he can continue that momentum as we head down the backstretch right now. This is the front stretch, though. It looks like Blake Lothian looks like to see coming off of 4 right now. See if he wants to hold off Adam Newbert there, and he does. Coming off of corner number 4, it is going to be Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. Made quick work of the field and wins stage number 1 here in the K Goble Memorial 200.
Yeah, great stage for the teammates there. 1-2 for swim. I didn't get in early. It just looked like Blake just had a feel for it so far this evening. Was able to stretch it, lead it all the way, take the stage 1 win.
That was a sweet stage 1 win. I'm going to see if we can't catch up with last week's winner and stage number 1 winner there, Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. See if we can't get him up here in the broadcast booth. And I don't think I can move him there, unfortunately, here. We'll see right now as Blake Lothian is our stage number 1 winner. And Mike, you were touching on that about how he raced at Bristol last week. Man, he's just coming on very strong here these past couple weeks.
Yeah, I think he's figured something out with these trucks. As I said, he is always one of the fastest guys, always, no matter what. But it looks like he's learned a little more patience. He's a little more methodical in what he's wanting to do, saving a little more tire, and it is really starting to show up.
Yeah, definitely starting to show up indeed. He's starting to figure out who he can work with, what lines, how much he can push the trucks here in this series, and everything that he's been calculating, everything that he's been figuring out here the past couple weeks is really paying off for that 43 truck. But here we go, Mike, you talked about it here. They're heading down pit road for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, I was real interested to see who will stay out, who won't. Barnett's going to stay out, so he's going to try to save that set of tires for later in the race. I don't mind this move right here. I did the exact same thing during our season. Paid off toward the end. You get a caution at the end. That extra set of tires is worth a second and a half as soon as you put them on. So not a bad move. He's going to get ate up, of course, right at the beginning of the run. But if they can stay out of trouble, I don't mind the move at all.
No, not at all there, and it looks like a majority of the field's going to head down as well. It's not going to be caught up into that, but we see Cody Knott down pit road there in that 26 machine. It looks like Adam Newbert's going to win the race. No, Blake Lothian's going to win the race off of pit road there. So basically just going to pick up where he left off there, Mike, and as you talked about it, though, those cold tires will give him just a tiny bit of disadvantage to start off this run. Once those tires get heated up and rocking and rolling, those Goodyear Eagles will fly around Darlington Raceway here. Taking a look at some of these drivers that did stay out here under caution. Steve Barnett won at Michigan about 2 weeks ago. He is right inside the top 5 of the points table with that all-important win. If Mike this season continues going the way it is with all these different winners along this season, it might just be the one win that gets you into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it takes, right? One good week, you show up, be consistent the rest of the time, you're right in the playoffs. I feel kind of bad for the 88 here because people that don't know the rule, I think he thinks he can get a wave round. I don't know if he lost a lap on that wreck that he had. We'll have to wait to see the official thing. If anyone on the lead lap stays out, you don't get the wave around. So I think he's going to have to end up dropping back to the back right here when he thought he could get a wave around. That's a shame for the 88 right now.
That is a shame indeed right there. Looks like the 88 is going to go ahead and drop off the pace right there. Let everybody go around. Looks like you are correct there, Mike. He was hoping for a wave around. Not going to get it there. He's actually going to go to the tail end of the pack here. Start off stage number 2. We're going to race it down to lap 55 here tonight. And we're going to have about a little over 100 laps to end this race out here at Darlington. This is week number 6. After tonight, Mike, we're going to take a bit of a break for the holidays. We'll be back here in just a couple weeks, but what a way to go into the holidays here, or Christmas or whatever everybody celebrates. And of course, we have New Year's the next weekend after this. What a way to go ahead and go into that Christmas break with a win at Darlington. It's just going to feel good. If it's our 6th different winner, we'll have 6 different winners to start the season. If it's a multi-time winner, that's 2 wins on the season here, 6 races in. Whoever wins tonight's going to go into that Christmas break with a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum, heading into that fresh week after everything's said and done.
100%, but I'm not sure Darlington's a Christmas present these guys wanted. This is by far the hardest track to drive a full race and stay focused the whole time. What we're going to have to watch here is cold tires entering 1 and 2. Takes about 3 laps before you feel fairly confident that you can go off into 1. It'll slide you up the track so fast you can't even believe it. So we'll see what kind of restart we get here. I don't expect Barnett to shoot out. He has to really watch spinning the tires right here. This pivotal that he doesn't spin the tires.
Yeah, we'll see what happens right here on the restart. We're going to have Barnett on the inside, Lothian on the outside here. We have our past 2 weeks winners right up here. Blake Lothian won at Bristol last week. Barnett won at Michigan 2 weeks ago. As we come off of corner number 4 right there, the pace truck's going to peel off. Barney the flagman is ready to rock and roll with that green flag. We're going to go green flag racing here to kick off stage number 2 here in the K. Goble Memorial 200. As right now, our leader, it looks like Barnett's going to keep it. Yes, he's going to go to the inside here, down at the corner number 1. Barnett in the 42 truck's going to lead us down to the first corner.
Good start on the used tires. I like that. If he can just hold his position, not get forced up or down. I like the call not to take the tires thus far. I think you'll see other guys do it at the end of stage 2, but we should see the tires take grip for Lothian here in about the 3rd lap, and you should be able to see him probably get him on the inside of 3 and 4 here fairly quickly.
Yeah, one thing that I've noticed about Blake Lothian in that 43 truck, he never really pushes anything, Mike. He waits for you to make a mistake. He waits for you to use up your equipment. He waits for you to take a corner just wrong, and he pounces. He takes advantage of your mistakes on the racetrack. You'll see it right now. That 43 truck is just going to coast in that 2nd position. He's going to wait for the 42 truck to have a bad corner, to let those tires wear on that truck. As you saw, the 42 truck didn't head down pit road, so you know that tire wear is built up. But right now, he does have some speed behind him. Here's our pole winner right there, Neil, in that 72 truck. He disappeared when we started stage number 1. Now back up in the mix in the 3rd position. More trucks starting to bunch up here on lap 33 down to corner number 1. We have Barnett in that 42 truck will take us off corner number 2 down the backstretch.
And I'll tell you what I'm seeing already, Will. You're talking about Barnett stayed out at the end of stage 1. I'm watching Blake's lift points into 1. I think he is already in save mode for when stage 2 ends. I think he wants to get stage points heavy in both, and then he's going to save that set of tires for the 3rd stage. It's just his lift points, he's letting Barnett stay out in front, lift early, saving tires. I think that's what I'm seeing already out of a lot of guys.
No, you're right on the money there, and if you pay close attention to that 43... Oh, we have some contact on the wall right there past this 93. Trying to see who that was right there. Is that Bullock in that 17 truck? No, that's Donnie Lyons there making hard contact with the outside wall. Looking sharp, though, in that paint scheme, that lime green and black with the purple rims. That's a hard contact, though, on that top side wall. That's Donnie Lyons inside that 79 machine. See him right now. He's having trouble getting around these corners. He's running very, very high, even on the backstretch there. Mike, you see him come into the last couple corners here. See how high he gets on the corner. Looks like that truck is just way too tight for him here tonight.
Well, that is the key to speed here. 3 and 4, the higher you can take it and not hit the wall, the more runoff you get. And 1 and 2 is basically the same way. You want to start low and you want to go all the way to the wall before you cut it back down. Is that 93? Is that Eric Zimmerman in the 93?
I believe so. No, that's Stevenson right there. That's Jason Stevenson inside that 93.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I'm so used to Eric Zimmerman in that paint scheme.
Right. It looks like a few of the drivers are rocking different paint schemes here tonight. A few different sponsors on the side of these trucks here tonight as well. These drivers that we just were taking a look at there, that's a battle to stay inside the top 20 on the racetrack. But right now, Barnett still leading the way on those old tires here. He's going to cross this line, make it lap 37 in the books right now as we dig down to corner 1. Blake Lothian, though, looks like he's trying to feed that gap. And going off what you were saying just a little while ago there, Mike, it looks like Blake is trying to follow that truck square. What I mean by that is going into the corners, you see that 43 truck is right on that back bumper. He's trying to latch on that draft as much as he can. As you mentioned, Mike, he's trying to save tires to the end of stage number 2. And what a perfect way to do it. Let Barnett lead some laps, feel comfortable up there in the top of the grid. But you see what that 43 truck's doing is just riding that draft as much as he can around this racetrack.
And there's the patience I've talked about. For the last couple seasons, I think Blake would have threw it in there. The tires are definitely the advantage now. What I think he's trying to do, and he'll get him here. He should be able to slide job him. Nope, he's going to give it back to him. I'm surprised. I love the way Blake is driving. He knows he has the runoff. Pardon me. But I think what he's truly trying to do, he's going to save tires now. He's not going to take any at the end of the stage. I think he took them there so that maybe he could win both stages. Oh, that's a bad move. No, it's going to get through as well.
Oh my goodness, no caution on the racetrack just yet, as we just had Barnett make contact. And we'll have to try to get a replay. Yeah, we'll have to get a replay queued up there to see what happened on the racetrack. Looks like Barnett.
Well, that's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Will. That's 100% what I was talking about. If you force it into 2 on the high side and you're getting past and you force it up there, the track throws you into the wall. There's really nothing. You don't even expect. It just throws you up there. It was a hard move by Blake, but he felt like he had to go. Barnett should have seen it coming and lifted a little sooner maybe. I mean, I'm sure he's upset right now, but if they fight into the corner, it happens over and over again. The outside guy will go into the wall. I'm pretty sure there wasn't any contact. It's just it's the track.
We'll see it right here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. You see Barnett on the top side there, Mike, as you were talking about. That 42 truck's just way high there. You see Blake Lothian's going to clear. Yep, no contacts made at all. 42 truck's going to make contact with the outside wall. He's going to brush Adam Newbert there, who makes contact with the outside wall as well. He's going to have some right front damage on that truck. Also some right, left, or back fender damage there as well from the 42 truck making contact. Doesn't seem to be much contact with Adam Newbert in that 4 machine. No caution flag flew either, so that's a good thing. Keep pace here on the racetrack. But what that does, though, Mike, you don't see the 43 truck in your picture anymore. It's because he checked out when that happened. He was already having pace with the 42 truck. He was to the inside. We saw it there, Mike, as he was being patient to get around him. And once he did, he's going to check out on the rest of the field here. I was going to go back live here at Darlington Raceway to see where Blake is out on the track. See, Adam Newbert's trying to hold pace as well here tonight. You see Lothian at the top of your grid there. Now has a 2-second lead on Neil in that 72.
Yeah, and I'm feeling bad for Adam. Knowing the damage model on these trucks, usually if you get right front, that means you have engine damage almost every time. We'll see if he's able to keep pace here in a little bit. Usually if the right front makes contact, a little bit substantially, that's usually the killer for your engine power. We'll have to see. You see Morales there. I love that throwback scheme for his dad. He told me about it this week. I think it was for his dad's mini truck. I love the deal. Make it look good for Dad.
It definitely does there in that 5 truck. And I would have to say Morales is one of those drivers that's in the basket of drivers. I would say, Mike, every broadcast we come on here, there's a basket of drivers that have shown that they can win. They've showed the skill each week. They've shown they have the strategy. They've shown the speed, everything that you'd want to see in a winner. So a lot of these drivers either catch bad luck at the end of these races. The strategies just backfire on them towards the end. Morales is one of them. You look at Newbert, and that 4 is one of them as well. A few of these other drivers, they really think are going to bust through here in these next couple of weeks. We'll have our 6th different winner if they bust through here tonight. They've just caught bad breaks, but here we go. We're going to watch the 5 machine of Morales here rocking that awesome paint scheme in tribute to his dad here. But for any of those drivers to break through here tonight, Mike, they have to get past the 43 truck of Lothian, who right now is making quick work of Darlington coming around the corner here to this line. Again, he's going to lead the way down at the corner number 1. In the way that he is hitting these corners here tonight, Mike, it's going to be very hard for anybody to not only catch Blake on the racetrack, but get around him.
Yeah, getting around him will be the problem. And we saw as Morales passed Doug Neal there, Neal was smart enough to get out of it early. He saw what happened to Barnett before, and he's probably raced here several times and understood it. So he was able to continue on, lost 2 spots, but no damage, continue on, regroup, and come on back.
Indeed, right there. As you see Morales in that 5 truck, we're speaking about that paint scheme, we're speaking about the tributes, all that good stuff, but he's having one heck of a race here tonight himself inside of that cockpit. Now up to 2nd on the grid. It's closing in on the 43 truck.
If I'm breaking here, I've been watching the timesheet here with that number 5, and it looks like he might be gaining on Lothian.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah, Morales was reeling him in a little bit, and he got a little piece of the wall there. You could almost physically see him reeling Lothian in. But as I said, I still think Blake is in tire save mode. I do not think you'll see him pit at the end of stage 2. I'll probably be 100% wrong, but I don't think he will. I think he's absolutely saving tires, trying to hope he wins the stage, and then he's going to have 2 sets left for that last stage instead of 1, because I don't think he'll take tires at the stage break.
No, not at all. As stage number 2 will come to an end on lap 55. See if Blake holds that tire-saving strategy, as you were saying, Mike, through this stage here on lap 49. Is it important to him to win this stage? I don't know. We'll have to see out of that 43 truck. He won stage number 1. Of course, it'd feel good to sweep the stages, but I think all that 43 truck has in mind is that race victory at the end. As you see right now, he's going to come around the corner there. Morales in that 5 truck has closed the gap big time here as we come off of 4. And though, Mike, as you said, he is saving tires. This is what you spoke about, though. It's going to be hard to get around the 43 truck, even if he is saving tires.
Yeah, we'll see what the line is. If Jason can get off the corner here well, he'll have a big run if Blake is. Now, we're going to see how bad Blake wants to win the stage. And it looks like he kind of does. I'm saying he wants to win both these stages, take those points, because he knows disaster can pop up at any second at this track. You can feel like a world beater at this place. Well, I'll give you an example. You'll laugh at me. 2 seasons ago, I was leading here with 30 to go. I come off of 2, I clipped the apron, pounded the outside wall, my day was over. That's how fast it can change.
Oh yeah, it can change an instant here at Darlington. I think it's the facade of the corners. Of course, you have 1 and 2 that's very wide. You can take it a little bit more off. You can let off a little bit more, but then you have very narrow 3 and 4. So it's a distracting racetrack, if you will. You get mesmerized by 1 and 2. You're like, okay, I can get this track. This is okay. You cruise down that backstretch. Then all of a sudden, it's like somebody made 3 and 4 into a tunnel. It's very narrow. It's very quick right here, as we see. Blake Lothian's going to take 3 and 4. It's a whole different line. You have to run. You're going to try to go high, but then you have to get lower on the racetrack there to come down the front stretch there to the line. Looks like Morales tried to do that there off of looking at, that's 4 right there. Tried to come very low side. Just didn't pay off here. He's going to watch him come around 1 and 2 here to the backstretch.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was talking about. You get through the apron there and you think, I'm just going to shoot off straight. Track doesn't allow that. It's going to shoot you out to the wall. And Jason found out right there real quick that he can't be doing that. Now we're into lap traffic. Let's see what Bullock's got. You say this 93 is Stevenson, correct? I'm trying to learn the new guys. I haven't seen them yet.
Yes, sir. That is Stevenson in that number 93 machine. But as we see Bullock there in that 17 truck, he's also in that basket of drivers that I was speaking about. Seems like every week there, Mike, of course, you're racing in these races some weeks you're up here in the booth with me. Seems like that 17 truck is always in the mix. You'd say it's either top 10, top 15, but then always gets tangled up in some kind of unfortunate late race incident. And I think that's the worst, Mike, for a driver. It's not that you want to get crashed out in a race. As you see contact there with the 88, see contact right behind these drivers, and yep, that's big contact there with the 88. He's flipping down the backstretch.
That turn 2 just came and bit Hamilton, it looked like. Probably contact. Maybe he got loose. Could be the same thing we were talking about. Maybe he got the apron. I'm not sure here. Let's take a look. Oh, you can see him. He's in a slide. He's in a 4-wheel slide. Then we'll see what happens when he gasses it back up.
See right there. Now, he does have a win on the season in that 89 truck. Looks like right now he's going to race with Neil in 72. 72 truck's going to stay high on the racetrack, but as you mentioned, Mike, looks like he is sliding just a little bit. He's going to try to get around Neil in that 72. See if there's contact made. Very, very close. Oh.
A little net code.
Yep.
Good old net code.
Yeah, looks like and that's just a little overdone there. Wasn't even that big of a contact with the outside wall, but it looks like iRacing wants to have the 89 go for a bit of a spin there. See if he lands on all fours, and he does. Perfect landing there out of the 89.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9.4 just because they had to take the little hop off the side. 9.4 from the judge. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, for people that watch and they don't understand what just happened, the computer simulation, let's remember that. And if it's imminent proximity, sometimes they're too close, it will assume it made contact, or they were going to make contact either way. And that's a shame for Neil, shame for Hamilton, two of the strongest guys in the field tonight.
Yeah, very strong indeed. As I mentioned, the 89 machine does have a win on the season, so currently inside the top 5 of the point standings with that win. Seems as though ever since that win, though, he's just had bad luck here to continue that run going on. And I think that goes to say, of all the winners we've had so far this season, Mike, nobody's really put forth a performance the following week that can get that second win of the season. The only driver that I can say that's been doing that here now, Blake Lothian in that 43 truck from winning at Bristol last week, has really picked up where he left off here tonight, trying to make it 2 wins on the season, be our first multi-time winner here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. But here we go. We're going to watch. It looks like the second wave of pit stops here. Mike, do you think this is a little early to head down pit road, or do you think some of these drivers are going to push that envelope? As it looks like we do have some drivers that are going to stay out.
What lap are we on? It was at the end of the stage. That's a key to a lot of this. Was at the end of the stage, and that's why they pitted. And Blake made a liar out of me, of course. He came down and took tires, I think. He might have just took fuel. I couldn't tell, but we shall see here soon.
Yeah, I think when this green flag waves, we're going to have just a few laps to go here in stage number 2. I believe we'll have to check with our producer here, Adam. Adam, I think we still had a few laps left to go there in stage number 2.
I'm trying to figure that out where we're at lap-wise.
55 is the number, so we'll have to see where we're at.
So they might have called this the stage break, because I know there for a couple laps we were like at 52, 53.
We'll have to see. We'll have to get confirmation from race control to see if that was the end of the stage. As Blake Lothian right there is going to come out of pit road. I'll be right back. I'm going to stick with race control, and I'll be right back here in the booth.
Yeah, while you're doing it, I'm going to say that probably was the stage, and I'm loving a lot of this strategy. I know the boss man, Mr. LaBeouf, he probably saved tires the first time, so I'm expecting him to start coming to the front. Lumpkin the same way. These guys are great with strategy. This is going to get real interesting with this long run coming. Probably see a little more carnage as this track always lends itself to it, but so far, really good race route to everybody. Sorry, folks, I'm not able to see the lap counter, but I'm going to assume that was the end of the stage. Otherwise, I would have stayed out. I know that to try to get the points. So we are going to re-rack, and Blake's going to take the outside lane.
And just that was the end of stage number 2, so we'll have to see who was leading when that yellow flag flew. I believe it was still Lothian before he headed down pit road, so that's back-to-back stage wins for Blake Lothian, that 43 truck.
I think that's the exact strategy you wanted to go. And now we're going to see Bullock, Bauer, Morales. Looks like Raul Meza making his way back up there. He's been super strong in a couple of other leagues, a couple of other series. He's starting to really get a feel for these trucks. And this is going to get interesting. Blake choosing the outside. I'm guessing he thinks he can get it, because I know he wants to be wide as he enters one. So hopefully he can get the jump that he needs right here. And he's going to definitely get it. Huge jump for Blake right there. He just left everybody in the dust.
Huge jump indeed there. Mike out of the 43 truck. Looks like he's found those restarts. Looks like he's found what to do. As it looks like Bullock in that 17 truck's going to try to follow right there. Looks like we got Nate Maurer in the 971 there in the third position right there. We have 2 already winners this season here, or 1 winner right there in Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. Nate Maurer trying to bust through after leading the most laps last week at Bristol, is trying to get his first win of the season. Bullock in that 17 truck, I just spoke about the season he's had so far, wants to get his first win of the season as well. But it's going to be very difficult to knock off that 43 truck off the top of this grid, because he looks laser focused here tonight, Mike. I don't think I've seen any mistakes out of that 43 truck so far.
No, and that's what it takes here. As they always say, too tough to tame, and you race the racetrack. The only time you move is if somebody needs to buy you. If you want to let them buy you, you're trying to move past someone. You race your line, race your race. That's the only way to succeed at this track. And Blake is definitely on a mission right now. Now, this run will determine something on tire wear, because as Larry Mack used to say, if you roll the tires on the ground here, put them back on the truck, get a new set. The grip level here is just absolutely terrible.
It is certainly indeed, and as we're going to see, Blake Lothian just put 4 brand new tires on that truck when we went down pit road that last time. See how long it takes for a little bit of a wear to sink in here. It's going to be the longest run of this race here tonight. Not a lot of cautions though, Mike. It's been a pretty clean race so far here. Just a couple cautions that I do believe. I think we've had 2, and then we've had 2 yellow flags for the end of the stage breaks, but not a crazy caution race so far here. Probably going to have a few more here, but here goes Bullock to the inside of the 43 truck. Blake Lothian here down the front stretch here. It's going to get way loose off of 4. Going to lose that momentum he had on the 43 truck. Here comes Nate Maurer though in the 971. He's going to take his opportunity to try to get around that 43 truck, as he has a huge run heading down to 1 and 2. Off of 2 right now though. Blake Lothian's going to shoot off of 2 though. Looks like Nate Maurer's going to have a run. Is he going to have that run down to 3 and 4? No, but it looks like, as you mentioned, Mike, 43 truck, you saw it there in the last stage, he sort of saves here as these laps tick down, and then he starts to engage at the end of the stage. I wonder if we're seeing that same strategy play out here in this last run.
Yeah, you're seeing him do a great job. You're seeing Nate, he went almost 3 truck lengths deeper than Blake right there into 3 and 4, and that is one of the crucial places that choose your tires off. 3 and 4, it's a big sweeping corner. I mean, it looks real easy, but as we saw with Brandon Bullock there, It's loose in spots. Blake has the absolute preferred line. If he can run the high side, it's going to be real hard to even put a slide jobber on him because he's going to have so much momentum coming off the corner.
You see Mallory right there just trying to find any opportunity, any window, any disadvantage the 43 truck might have here that he could take advantage of. It looks like every time he tries to peel off to the inside, the 43 truck just pulls away even more. It just looks like Nate Maurer just can't get that move on him just yet. As we look through the field, it looks like some drivers have already called it a night, including the 89 of Hamilton down in the 30 position. You have Newbert 15 laps down, Broadfoot 17 laps down, Matthews in the 38 has retired, Rover is in the 44 has retired, and Zimmerman is down pit road as well. But still, right now, it's got Blake Lothian, the 43 truck, still leading the way here. See 971 with another big run. That's Nate Maurer, the 971. Still on the back bumper of the 43 truck. Looks like he tries to the inside here on the corner. No, he's just going to keep right there behind him. Looks like, though, Mike, he's trying to put a little bit of pressure on the 43 truck, but you see the 43 is just composed. Now here comes Raul Meza in that 37. Wants to throw his name in the mix as well.
Yeah, they're definitely running harder than Blake right now, and I like what Nate's doing. I mean, make him look in the mirror, see if he can make a mistake, and Raul's going to pounce on both of them if either one of them make a mistake. He is on rails right now.
Yeah, looks like Raul is
see
just
Nate again going deep.
Yeah, he's trying to go deep, but every time he does, Raul is right there as well. And the way that Nate's kind of broken that draft each lap, trying to put a move on Blake Lothian, that has opened the door for the 37 truck to climb his way back up there as well. As you see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 Bullocks in the 4th position, that 17 truck. Could slide down to 5th, so he's running inside the top 5. Right, oh, here comes a big move for the lead right now, Mike, down in the corner. Like Nate Maurer at 971 is going to try the 43 right here on the inside.
Yeah, he's trying to get enough momentum for the slider, but I think Blake will pull him off the corner if all holds serve here. That top line is so strong off the corner. You see it there again, and now Raul's going to put Nate in a bad position. Oh, he's going to think better of it. That's good. A little early for that move yet. We saw what happened to Barnett. It felt terrible for him at the time.
It definitely indeed is. It looks like after all that commotion, all that excitement, looks like our top 4 right now is going to fan out just a little bit. Nate Maurer still right there in that 971. Raul Mezzo's right there in that 37. You got Bullock right there in the 17. But here comes the rest of the field, Mike. Where'd the rest of the field come from? Because right there we had 4 drivers racing it out. But all of a sudden, somebody ignited the nitrous inside these trucks because now we have everybody up in the mix, including Robbie Richards in that 48 machine. We have the 95 up there as well. It's in the mix. A lot more drivers now racing inside the top 5. Might be a little bit more pressure on that 43 truck.
Yeah, we got a caution on the speedway, I believe I saw. We'll see if we can find out what happened with the caution there. See a little puff of smoke. What? Oh. Jason Morales. Did he contacted himself? Did we have an issue? Let's back up, see what happens. Looks like he's already loose, already in the wall.
Let me see right
That's
here.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, that's what I'm talking about here at Darlington, folks. Will, you miss your mark that far, you're a little deep, there is nothing you can do. You'd be standing on the brake, slide it right into the wall. And then the problem here is try to get back to the gas a little soon. Snap it around, right off of the seam. Hopefully didn't hit much there, and he won't have engine damage, and he can continue on.
Yeah, it didn't look like he made contact with anybody, just that topside wall, but that's right on the money there, Mike. It looks like exactly what happened there. Looks like he missed his mark to let off the gas, and at that point, it's way too late. And then he realized he missed his mark. He made contact with the topside, tried to get back onto the gas as quickly as he could, and that thing just snapped underneath him, so that's perfect there, Mike. But we are under caution here once again. This is the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. This is the K. Goble Memorial 200. And as I spoke about to start off this broadcast, K. Goble was a beloved member of the iRacing community, a grandmother to one of our iRacers here, but always watched all these races, cheered on all the drivers, tuned in to a lot of the broadcasts here at Nazareth. So we want to wish all that family keep them all in our hearts and wish them all the best through this dark time. But again, this is the Goble Memorial 200 here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Again, I am William Tiller. I am now joined by my co-host Michael McKinnon. We have Adam Flieger as our producer here tonight. We are inside the last stage of the race here tonight, Mike, as Blake Lothian has swept both stages. Do you think he's going to get the job done here tonight?
I think it's going to be hard to get him if he can continue to run that high line. But as we saw with Morales there, if you don't do this a lot, I can't stress enough how much these change lap to lap. Jason probably felt good last lap. This lap comes in, he's a little tighter than he was, into the wall. That could happen to anybody in the field. But Blake looks super stout right now. I haven't seen any wiggles off the corners. We know Nathan Mauer's fantastic driver. He's probably owed a couple races here. He's won all kinds of stages. He's fast every week. So he's going to give him quite a run for the money. Robbie Richards sitting back there. We know Robbie can come to the front at any point. So I'm not going to give it to Blake yet. He's going to have a lot of work to do. But the way his truck seems to be stuck to the track, or it's just stuck. He's doing a great job with the throttle. I mean, that's the key to this place.
He's got that thing locked and loaded here tonight. As we have a second to do so, let's run through that top 10. As we just mentioned, Blake Lothian in that 43 truck's leading the way. Got Nate Maurer right there in that 971 in second. Raul Mezzo right there in that 37's in third. Okay, Blake in that 17 truck is in the fourth position. We look right behind that 17 truck. We have the 95 of Tyler Daniels right there. Behind him is that man you just spoke about, Robbie Richards in that 48 machine. Right there behind that 48, we are looking at, I believe that's the 28 of Justin White right there in that spot. And then right behind Justin White, we have Kyle Hess in that 86 machine. I believe there's one more car inside the top 10. That's Kerry Tribune in that 7 machine, all blacked out here tonight, Mike. Then we look at Justin Lumpkin right there in that 18. A lot of these drivers still searching for their first win, but then some of those drivers inside the top 10 already have a win on the season. So as I mentioned to start off this broadcast, some of the drivers are starting to rise to the occasion each week. Some of these drivers are just trying to fight through to break through here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. But here we go. Base Truck has peeled off. We're going to go green flag racing once again here on the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
Yeah, we're starting to see the usual suspects starting to work their way to the front. So it's going to get a little tougher and tougher on these boys as we go. And as I said 100 times, I can't say it enough. Tires here. You go a little bit too hard, you're going to find out here in the next 20 laps.
Yeah, tires are definitely a key, I'd say, a key aspect of every race we have here. I think the race control does a great job of limiting how many tires these drivers have each week. Gives them an opportunity to strategize just a little bit. But here comes Barney with that green flag. We're green flag racing once again here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network as Blake Lothian in that 43 truck with a big restart off the outside. It's going to take us down into corner number 1.
Yeah, big start there, and then you saw Bullock. He spun the tires just a bit, but he's going to be able to pull Raul Mezzo off the corner there. I'm really happy of how these guys are negotiating these restarts, because that is by far the hardest part of this track. Restarts are just, that turn 1 and 2 is just treacherous.
Yeah, it seems like everything's been very clean on those restarts. Caution flags we've had have just been miscellaneous cautions, we can call it that, Mike. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of a racing incidents there, 50-50 moves, if you will. Nothing too crazy so far here on lap 76. Who knows what the end of this race will play out as. One week we had drivers finishing on top of one another here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, but it looks like off of 2. A lot of these drivers are not liking the lines off of 2 there, Mike. So it's very hairy here on the low side of the grid.
Yeah, we saw the accordion there. Hess got trapped on the outside, and he had to lift to stay out of the wall as he was getting passed by the 18. That was a big accordion effect. I imagine that woke everybody right behind him up.
And you see the racing stripes on the side of the boss man there, Brady LaBeouf on the 9. But back up here to the top of the grid, looks like Raul Meza wants to get that third position back from Bullock in that 17. He's going to go to the inside here. He's going to see if he can clear all the way, and he does. What an awesome racing move from Raul Meza inside that 37 machine. Went very close to the 17, went to the inside, cleared him right on the corner to race him down into corner number 1 right there to get that third position back. A little more fanned out on the top of the grid right there. Mike, you see Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. Nathan Maurer in the 971's in there as well. But here comes White inside that 28. He's trying to catch the draft off of anybody he can to work his way up to the top of the grid as well. But with a 2-for-1 little BOGO action out of Robbie Richards in that 48 truck. Looking like Prince here tonight in the all-purple.
Send it, my man. My goodness, what a slider, right? 2 in 1. I'm just going to hold it longer than you, and I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm going to put it in there. I love that move. That is one aggressive, great move by Mr. Richards right there.
Yeah, Robbie Richards coming strong into this season as well. Has a win so far. Trying to be our first multi-time winner here in week number 6 of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. The other man trying to do that as well is the 43 truck of Blake Lothian, still at the top of the grid. He's starting to feel the pressure, though, a little bit, though, Mike. He's probably realizing he's not going to coast the win like he did at Bristol last week. There's no lapped cars. You can start putting buffers between you and the other cars in the field. A lot of these drivers are starting to work their way up. Nate Maurer hasn't slipped inside or outside of the top 3 yet in this race. So Robbie Richards has pulled a little 2-for-1 action as well. You have a winner this season, and White's up there in the mix down the 28 machine. So a lot more steam, a lot more pressure starting to build on that 43 truck at the top of the grid.
Yeah, and for the first time, we're gone past 25 laps on a run. So from here on, it's, did I manage my tires good? Was it poor? They're going to find out inside the rig there. We still got 70 laps to go. They've got 1 set of tires left, so they're going to have to take this another probably 25 laps again. So we're going to really start to see the tire wear be preeminent here soon.
And one thing that I wanted to touch on there, Mike, as you're talking about 1 set left for a lot of these drivers, is we speak to these drivers after, if they finish on the podium. Sometimes we speak to some other drivers outside of the podium. But I think one constant in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series is that strategy, especially that last pit stop. Do you go first? Do you get it out of the way? Do you make sure you're your last truck out on the racetrack? Do you go in the middle of the run to make sure you're kind of sandwiched in between the late run and the early run trucks? Or do you wait as late as you can, get that pit stop at the very end of the run, stay out as long as you can, and then race it down at the very end? For a lot of these drivers, they try different strategies at the end of the race instead of sticking to the strategies they had during the race, and sometimes it backfires on them, Mike. But here tonight, we'll get to see how these drivers really implement their strategies. Will we see Blake Lothian head down early? Will we see him in the middle of the run, at the end of the run here tonight? Will these drivers behind him play follow the leader as a huge run out of 38? Robbie Richards there almost makes contact with a 971. But we will wait to see how these pitch strategies pay off here, as we have big runs happening inside the top 4 right now as we head down to corner number 1.
Yeah, Robbie's trusting that brake pedal right now, driving in hard, trying to make up, a few tenths here, a few tenths there. Doing a great job with it, but he almost opened the door for White right there.
Yeah, White's itching to get inside the top 3. Big run out of him here tonight. Robbie Richards with a huge run down into the corner. It's going to get a little bit of help from White right behind him. Going to use that draft to his advantage. Push that 48 along right there. But now the 43 truck's going to look behind him and see, oh my goodness, I got 3 trucks right on my tail. That includes the 971 of Nate Maurer, who keeps trying that inside window. He's just dipping his toes in the pool to see how it feels. Not really jumping in too much. No cannonballs inside the pool just yet. As we head down to corner number 3. Still Blake Lothian leading the way.
I kind of like what Robbie's doing, but on a second thought, when the more I think about it, more brake equals more friction, equals more heat on these tires. I don't know. It might be a little bit early for that, for these big dives. I think maybe I'd want to just kind of settle in and try to save what I got, but it may work for him because he's still got a great run coming off. I haven't seen him slide the tires yet, which is great, but more heat, more friction, more wear.
Yeah, it seems like all these drivers right here inside this top four are trying to put pressure on that 43 truck. Looks like Nate Mauer's going to try to the inside. No, he's going to go back to right behind that 43 truck. Looks like Nate has that momentum. Each lap is just easing back. That kills a run out of the 48 truck. Another big run down in the corner for the 48. You also see White up there in the mix as well. Nobody's really trying for the lead just yet here, Mike. Could be along that tire strategy you were speaking about. You see Nate Mauer is going to break that draft. He's going to try to the inside here. Here he goes. He's going to ride that draft around. I don't know if he's going to try this on purpose, but it's going to work out for him here. He's going to take the lead from the 43 truck to cross the line as Nate Mauer is going to take us down into one as our race leader. But comes the 43 truck right on the outside here. He wants that spot back. No, he's not going to get it on 1 and 2 as Nate Mauer is going to close that door right on the apex of 1 and 2. It's going to be Nate Mauer taking us down the backstretch as our race leader.
Yeah, great move by Mauer there, and then a good move by Blake not to have to lift so much as to lose the spot to Robbie there. Just really good racing from these front four. You usually don't want to force the issue into one, but if you do, it can pay off for sure.
Yeah, Nate Mauer is probably coming from last week at Bristol. I'd say a bit frustrated, but also a bit motivated. He knows that he has the skill. He knows what he can do on the racetrack, especially in this series. He's got a good feel of the competitors. He led 54 laps at Bristol last week and didn't win. He lost by 3 seconds to the man we're riding on board right now with, Blake Lothian. Lost that race by 3 seconds after leading 54 laps. So here tonight, he is a man on a mission. He's been behind Blake Lothian for the majority of tonight's race. He now has the lead here on lap 90. Now let's see what you were speaking about, Mike, when those last pit stops happen here and what that's going to do to the top of the grid.
Well, what I'm seeing Blake do is exactly what Nate was doing to make the pass. He's backing the corners up, trying to get a little more run off. It worked for him off 3 and 4. It didn't work real well off of 1 and 2. Probably just a line there. But he backed the corner up substantially from what he was doing right there. So little change in how he wants to drive it. Stay in the draft, try to cool the tires back down.
Yeah, as now Blake Lothian's going to lose a bit of pace to Nate Mauer there in that 971. We just saw a lapped car come into the mix as well as we're coming through some lap trucks in the field right there. As we're going to go through the rest of the field right there, you see Nate Mauer is now starting to separate just a little bit from the 43 truck of Blake Lothian here on lap 91. Still a long way to go here tonight from Darlington. You see Robbie Richards there in that 48 machine. He's still in the mix as well. We see White right there in that 28 trying to hold pace with Robbie Richards. You see Bullock in that 17 truck. Looks like Kerry Tribune has made his way up into the mix as well. And Mike, that's definitely one of those drivers I look out for each week here. A driver that has a lot of skill as well. Has the ability in that 7 truck, but always gets tangled up in something.
Yeah, seems to be a little snake bit, but we've seen a lot of speed out of him. So that's what we, continue to expect. We see the speed, and hopefully he can keep it clean tonight. He's got a great run going so far. It needs a little help in the points there just because of how, the luck he's had thus far.
Looks like there's Tyler Thurman there in that one machine. He's going to put a move on Raul Meza there in that 37. Tyler Thurman's trying to work his way up through the grid as well. Looks like a few of those HC Motorsports cars are rocking different paint schemes here tonight. We see Kerry Tribune now inside the top 5. Tyler Thurman's right there in that one, just outside. And then 6th, Brady LaBeouf, the boss man with some racing stripes on that 9 machine. He's got himself inside the top 10. You see right there, Bullock's right there in 9th. You see Lumpkin right there in 10th as well. The 86 of Hess is down in 11th. You see Morales, who we thought was going to have a great night here tonight, Mike, has now slipped down into 12th, about 15 seconds off the pace. It could be from that damage that he sustained, unfortunately, but he can still hang on, get a top 10 out of tonight's race. Look at the rest of the field. You see Brent Lanchard right there in that 14. A few other drivers mixed up as well. But I don't think this is where you want to be, Mike. You don't want to be in the second half of the grid. There's a lot of drivers that put a lot of wear on those tires. I call it the calamity zone, if you will, because I feel like a lot of those drivers are starting to push the envelope, push their equipment just a little bit too much. That can cause concern for that yellow flag to fly. You don't want to get tangled up in that mess at the back of the grid. But here, right now, Blake Lothian's going to lose another position on the racetrack. It looks like Robbie Richards going to go around him there.
Yeah, as we said, it's tires. Now you find out if you were doing the correct thing. It looks like he's going a little bit too hard. a little bit too soon, and Robbie's took over second. We'll see if he's got anything for Nate here in a minute. I'm going to say Justin and them, they're going to be around the bumper of Blake here real soon. He seems to have just lost the handle a little bit. Probably not getting the drive off he's wanting off the corners.
Yeah, you saw him slide just a little bit there off of, too. A little bit of a wiggle out of the nose of the 43 truck. Now, Mike, could this be more of an advantage for the 43 truck, though? You're going to lose some positions on the racetrack. Nobody's going to play follow the leader with you anymore. It gives you that opportunity to sort of implement your own strategy. Could this actually just be the 43 truck kind of playing his cards here, if you will, lose some positions on the racetrack, stick to your strategy, pit when you thought you were going to pit, and then beat everybody else to the line there at the end?
No, I think he wanted to lead every lap, and I think he's overused his equipment just a bit. He overcooked it, and I think within the next, we should be within the, I mean, we're probably in the fuel window right now, but I don't think anybody's going to take tires until, I'm going to say lap 110. It looked like Blake got a little piece of the wall right there.
Yeah, now you're starting to see, you're starting to see these drivers have a little bit more difficulty whipping these trucks around Darlington right now. You see the boss man, Brady LaBeouf, has a lot of racing stripes on that 9 machine here tonight. All you can really see on that truck there, you can briefly see the number, and those purple rims are definitely shining here tonight. But what a run from the boss man, though, inside the top 10, even with all those racing stripes on that 9 machine. Another great run out of him. He's a guy that has a win on the season as well, so inside the top 5 of that points table. And Brady's just trying to squeeze out a good finish here tonight. Who knows with how everything will play out here at the end, or he will finish, but still a good run nonetheless so far here tonight. I see Blake Lothian trying to hold on to that spot. Robbie Richards right there in that 48 machine. He's currently in the second spot, all purpled out here tonight, especially with those purple rims on that race truck here tonight. As we dig around the corner here, we're going to cross the century mark, lap 100 here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series live on Nazareth 360 Racing Network. This is the K Goble Memorial 200, and it's been an excellent race so far, Mike. Very clean, not a lot of cautions. Caution flags that have flown have been 50-50 incidents or single car incidents, nothing too malicious, nothing too crazy. It's just been a very clean and very exciting race from Darlington so far.
Yeah, you see that little group we just saw, that lap truck's going to be a real problem for those 3. But what I'm seeing is Nate Maurer has the best line through 1 and 2 going right now. He gained 0.2 of a second in 1 and 2 over Robbie Richards right there. So Robbie's going to have to change something to try to catch back up. And you're going to see pit stops, I'm going to say, in the next 4 to 6 laps. 4 to 6, 4 to 10, you're going to start seeing live pit stops. These guys are praying for a caution, because this is one of the hardest places to get on pit road. It's hard to gauge where to get off the track, and it's super hard to gauge how quickly you're slowing down. Hard place to get on and off pit road.
Definitely, indeed, and we'll start to see here the next few laps that Mike, you predicted around lap 110. Let's see if the drivers are listening to you here on the broadcast. See if that pans out just as you were saying. We're taking a look at some of these drivers here. They're navigating through the lap traffic, navigating through some of those drivers that decided to head down pit road early. That's the 93 truck there. Just going to hold that line. Don't interfere with those lead lap cars who come off of 4 right now. We're going to put another lap into the books, as it looks like Blake Lothian still in second. No, he's down in the third. Robbie Richards in second. Nate Maurer in first, currently on the racetrack. But everything will get reshuffled here, Mike. Not looking at the race results just yet. Everybody's going to get shaken out here depending on where they pit, which truck's going to be fastest there after those pit stops. We'll have to wait and see as we're going to cross this line here on lap 103. Make it 104 here down at the corner number 1. Nate Maurer is our race leader. He has some lapped cars as a buffer as he comes around 1 and 2. Folks, we're just awaiting these last pit stops on the racetrack. And Mike, after that, it's going to be quite the shootout there to lap 150.
Yeah, things can change, folks. Hold on tight, because this place getting into pit road is an absolute nightmare. Too hard on the brake, you spin. You speed. It's hard to gauge when to get in. Boxes are tight. So this will get real interesting, I'm guessing, in the next 5 laps.
Next 5 laps, indeed, right now, as we're still watching everybody just slowly take their pace around this racetrack here. People have already headed down pit road. Some drivers are starting to get comfortable here, ready for that last run. We have just about 46 laps to go here.
Looked like the leader was jumping in the pits right there.
We'll have to check and see, and he is. That's a great call there, Mike, as Nate Maurer is going to head down pit road. That 971 machine, and looks like to me, Mike, he is by himself down pit road.
Yeah, and this is going to force the hand of Richards, everyone behind. Treyview White came in, so this is going to force Robbie right now, or he's going to lose a second and a half per lap waiting to get the tires on. He's got to come this time, or he is in big, big trouble.
Yeah, Nate Maurer is actually coming off of pit road right now. There goes Robbie Richards entering pit road right across that Cookout logo. And I don't have any cookouts near me here in Florida. I really wish they would come down to Florida because that place is awesome. You could virtually get anything you can think of from a fast food joint there at Cookout. A little Cookout plug there. Mike, I don't know if you come across any cookouts in your travels, but those Cookout restaurants are pretty good indeed. As you see, looks like the 14 truck's going to head down there. Tyler Thurman and that one truck still out on the racetrack. And this is what I like to call there, Mike, the Yahtzee shuffle of the field. You're going to see a lot of these drivers get reshuffled down to the grid. But then as these laps tick down, more drivers head down pit road. The drivers with the old tires get passed. You're going to start to see that grid reform here. Probably looking at around lap 115, 116. So that gives us just over 30-some odd laps to go there at the end. And the way this race has been going, it's going to be quite the shootout there at the end. Is going to watch the one machine of Tyler Thurman there at HC Motorsports. The boss man, Brady LaBeouf, right there in that 9 truck as well. He's sliding off the corner. Look at Morales there in that 5, rocking that tribute paint scheme to his dad there here tonight in that 5. Had a great run going there until unfortunate damage is going to slow that truck down just a little bit. As he looks like we had some commotion coming off that corner there, Mike.
A little bit, and that's what these leaders are waiting for. They're praying for a caution right now, catch all these guys a lap or two down, and then they can leapfrog after they get their pit stop. But if we stay clean, these guys that are staying out right now, they are in big, big trouble.
Big trouble indeed. I think they're just out there running some hot laps, if you will, here tonight at Darlington. They stay out any bit longer, that window of opportunity for them to win or a great finish is going to shut. They're just going to be probably outside of the top 10 when it's all said and done. But for Tyler Thurman in that one truck, he's in that mix as well, Mike, that I see breaking through here pretty soon in that one. Just needs to stay consistent throughout each race here tonight. Brady LaBeouf has a win on the season. Of course, the boss man here in the Nazareth Racing Series here at Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And you see what happens right there with those old tires. You see White, you see Richards right there fly by the boss man there, take over that position. Here comes Kerry Tribute in that 7 truck as well. So here we go, Mike. The grid is going to reform here. Everybody's going to get back in the positions they were before we headed down pit road. This is going to be really anybody's race to win. You see Nate Maurer there in the 971 with a big run off the corner. If he can hold that pace here and get his win on the season, make it our 6th different winner of this season so far in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
Yeah, and he did a great job timing up the lap traffic there. And what I noticed is Lothian was able to jump Richards with the cycle, but I'm not sure he can catch Nate right now. He is not as far back as I thought he was. But this is just all go, no quit right now for everyone in the field.
It is definitely the full send mode for these drivers right now in the Goble Memorial 200 right now as we're racing it down here on lap 112 of 115. Looks like contact right there. It's hard to see who that is right there inside of that 51 machine, but hard contact with the top side wall. It comes Tyler Thurman right there. Bleich is right there as well in that 14. He's going to go to the inside here and ride around. Still trying to see who that truck is. There's Tyler Thurman right there. He's going to go to the high side of that truck. And you see right now, everybody's just shaking out. We got about 8 trucks on the lead lap. Tyler Thurman's currently our race leader on the track there, Mike. Brady LaBeouf's 8 seconds off the pace in second. Morales in third in that 5 truck, 17 seconds off the pace. We have Hunter in fourth right there in that 30. And then Nate Maurer, who's in that 971, is currently 30 seconds off the pace in 5th position. But that's our last car on the lead lap is Nate Maurer, that 971.
So he's got his lap back, and he's going to cruise to the front easily no matter what happens with the strategy on these other guys. But they're just still holding out for that yellow. That's all they're praying for. And you see another truck in the wall there. Looked like Brian Chu might have got a little bit more of it. Then that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on that caution flag. If they can get it, they'll have a newer tires for the big once we're bunched back up. If they do not, they are in big time trouble. You see Robbie right on the rear bumper of Lothian right there for second.
Yeah, and that's where he wants to be there. He wants to latch himself on the back of that 43 truck no matter what happens at the end of this race. You want to make sure you're in contention. You want to break off there as he's trying to do right now. He's going to go to the inside of the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. And there goes White in that 28. There's goes Kerry Tribute as well in that 7. Looks like they don't want to really work together right now, Mike. They just want to get position. They want to try to work their way up to Nate Maurer in that 971. As you see Robbie Richards there to the door of the 43 truck down into the corner. See if he can ride this inside lane all the way around. But White's going to take advantage of that. Trying to go to the high side of the 48. Not going to be enough, though, as everybody's back single file with a big run from the 28 off the corner. He's going to go to the inside. Robbie Richards down in the corner.
Yeah, he's seen Robbie use his patience there. He knew not to press the issue with Blake, take both of them out, had to check up, and then he got a little loose off of 2, gave Justin a huge run, but he was able to correct it and get it back straight quickly enough to not to lose his spot.
Now, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on it just yet, Mike, but what would a caution flag do to this race?
Oh, it would be huge. Be huge. Everyone that was 7th on back that's still on the track, say Thurman, Brady, all those guys, they're going to have 15 lap better tires here. And if we re-rack it, they're going to have a distinct advantage within, the first 10 laps of the run.
So what these guys are, let's say, the characters of tonight's race, and it's basically been all the same characters. Here comes Brady LaBeouf down pit road there in that 9 machine, the boss man here, the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. But with these guys up at the top of the grid here, of course, we're going to see a lot of these guys head down pit road just based on that tire wear. But as you were mentioning, Mike, if that yellow flag flies, all the regular characters of tonight's race are going to have a lot more names you're going to have to compete with there at the top of the grid.
Well, I'm looking at the track position here. They're going to be in big trouble. They're going to go on the pit, and they may lose a lap here, to be honest. Those guys stayed out so long, they may get lapped right here. I don't think Brady can get off quick enough. He may be able to unlap himself, but they may actually take a lap right here.
There's Robbie Richards to the inside of Blake Lothian, that 43 truck down into the corner. This is 3 and 4. But it looks like he keeps trying that, Mike, but he's not pressing the issue just too much. It's just the preferred line right now. As you see, he's going to fall right back behind the 43 truck as we're going to cross this line. They're essentially waiting for Morales to pit there at the top of the grid so far. Once that happens, we'll have Nate Maurer at the top of the grid, and then everybody else after Nate. As you see, Morales is going to head down pit road right now in that 5 truck. And you see right there comes Nate Maurer in the 971 right behind the boss. That Brady LaBeouf just came off of pit road. But I believe with all that reshuffle, Nate Maurer is our race leader on the track, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe Brady's a lap down unless he just got it back right there. That's what I was talking about. They stay out so long, they probably lost 10 to 12 seconds of track time easily, probably more than that. So I understand the gamble 100%, looking for the caution. You expect some at Darlington, but that's just not going to work out in their favor tonight, unless they did save that other set of tires, which some of these leaders may have as well.
Yeah, as Nate Maurer there now has a clear advantage for the rest of the field. He's going to be our race leader here on lap 121. So we have just about 29 laps to go here tonight. Nate Maurer there in the top of the grid. You see Robbie Richards there in the second position. It's going to be off the pace. I would say give it at least 3 seconds, 2.5, 3 seconds that Robbie's going to have to make up now. He has a lot of speed behind him, though, to push him along. We'll see if the guys want to work together here. We saw it last week at Bristol, Mike. Nobody really wanted to work together to feed themselves up there to the 43 truck of Blake Lothian, who ended up getting that win. Let's see if here tonight they can take a page out of that book of last week, really work together, and then they all have a shot at the win, not just letting Nate Maurer cruise to the end of this race.
Yeah, you see Blake got a little loose there, wasn't able to keep up with the draft of Robbie. I'll give Tribute a chance to take a look inside, see if he can pull through. And he does. I'm almost wondering, look, can we get a shot of the right side of Blake? Did he touch the wall somewhere? He seems to have lost pace somewhere along the line. I cannot quite figure it out.
Yeah, that is interesting take there, Mike. You're right on the money there.
He just seems to have lost a little pace. I'm not sure. I know we can't get enough camera angle. But I'm just wondering if it just lost pace somewhere. It doesn't look the same.
Definitely does not look the same there in that 43 truck. From the dominance he showed in the first couple of stages, sweeping the stages, it seems as though when we started into this longer run here under green into the last, there's no stage there at the end, but the last bit of the race here, 43 truck is not showing that. Ooh, contact with the high side wall there. Definitely something wrong with that right side. I have to say, he's going to make contact again. No, he's going to stay off the wall there. But it looks like Blake is just trying to make, lemonade out of lemons, just trying to squeeze what he can out of this race here tonight, squeeze out a good finish, because it looks like that 43 truck has gone and left him here so far.
Yeah, the aggression's coming up. We saw Justin make the move in 1 and 2. Guys know not to do that. They put themselves in jeopardy. It's just so hard to hold on to the truck when you're on the outside. I can't say it enough times going into 1. And Blake just a little bit loose, got the rear end into the back. Doesn't seem to hurt him too much. Big run for White here. Yeah, something just seems a mess on Blake. He just cannot get the drive off he was before. Could be the set of tires, could be the rubber down track temp. There's several aspects that could change.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to make the best of tonight's race. Maybe finish inside the top 5. As you see right now, Raul Meza in that 37 machine is going to get passed by Tyler Thurman to the inside. Tyler Thurman in that 1 machine, we saw him out as long as he could there on that run. Now he's trying to squeeze the best finish out of tonight's race as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we have less than 25 laps to go here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. This has been the K Goble Memorial 200. And as I mentioned, Kay was an avid fan of iRacing, always cheering us on here in the simulator, watching broadcasts. Actually, a grandmother of one of the races here at Nazareth. And whether you're my age, 30, whether you're young, we've had some drivers that are 13, 14, 15 years old, even younger sometimes. Then you have drivers that are very, a lot older, they're middle age, let's say. There's always fans of these drivers out there. They always watch these broadcasts. They always tune in to see what their favorite drivers are doing, whether they're relatives or not. We want our hats off to Kay and her family, and wish them all the best to this dark time. I know it's always dark to lose a relative, especially around this time with the holidays and everything. So our thoughts and well wishes are with that family here. And we want to memorialize Kay with this race here tonight on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. And Mike, what a race it's been in memorial for Kay here. We've had a bunch of different incidents here on the track. We have Nate Maurer leading the way. We had Blake Lothian win both stages, but it looks like now Blake in that 43 truck is going to lose that opportunity. We might have our 6th different winner of the season.
That's very possible. Nate's looking real strong, and bringing up Miss Goble there. We want to say hi to Kayla. I know she's probably cheering on Robbie right now. It was Kayla's grandmother, I believe. And no, we didn't want to see that right there. But hopefully he's not hurt too bad. But that's going to bring the caution. That's going to change everything. Will that changes everything?
It changes everything indeed. Somebody just knocked over the chess board. All the chess pieces are on the floor. You have to figure out where to put them back. It's just best to restart the game. And it looks like we're going to do exactly that here tonight at the Darlington Raceway. With that yellow flag, will give everybody the opportunity to bunch back up, grid back up, and boy, what a shootout it's going to be. But I'm curious to see what happened to Robbie Richards there inside that 48 there. It looks like he took hard contact there from a lapped car, if I'm not mistaken there, Mike.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got loose. I don't know if it was contact first. I couldn't tell. I was talking about it. I hate that. It's just a commentator curse. Put him on the screen and something happens. Yeah, he got pinched a little bit, looks like, with a lap car. Nowhere to go. That is a shame for a strong car. We'll see what happens here as we enter. Robbie right on the seam. Oh, he drifted down just a touch. Just a tiny touch. We'll see where the contact is made. Rear right rear, and then flat. Okay, maybe he won't have any engine damage here. If he doesn't, now that might do it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he might be able to make his way back through.
What a save from Kerry Tribute
That's a
right
shame.
there. See, yeah. A lot of good saves. Oh, man. We were just
Justin
speaking
White.
about good saves, and
Beast.
Justin White gets tangled up.
Yeah, that's a shame on a couple of these guys right there. But what this does, this brings Blake right back in. This brings Brady LaBeouf back in. This brings all the guys that went and got tires. Now we will see if who saved that last set for the last 20. Do they want him or do they want the track position? We're going to find out.
We're going to find out indeed. You know, as I've mentioned throughout this broadcast here, trying to make it 6 different winners in a row. But with that reshuffle, we have some guys up there in the top of the grid that have won here. So they know how to close out a race. They know how to seal the deal. But the driver that wants this win more than everybody else is Nate Maurer, that 971. As I mentioned, had a heck of a race at Bristol last week. Couldn't get it done. Lost by 3 seconds to Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. Here tonight has followed Blake Lothian around that 43 truck. Watched Blake win stage number 1, stage number 2. He's saying inside that cockpit, that's cool. You can have those bonus points for winning the stage. I want to be the car in victory lane. And you see it now here. Mike is on the top of the grid. He's going to race it down here. We're probably going to have in the range of about 21, 22 laps to go when that green flag flies. He's in that perfect opportunity to win tonight's race going into that holiday break. What a huge win it would be for that 971, but it has some work to do to get it done.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to have plenty of work to do. Anybody with tires behind him has got a little bit of advantage. But how snake bit has Nathan been? You dominate a race, caution comes out. Dominate the next one, caution comes out. Dominate another one, caution out again. Now we can just see if we can put a restart together and drive away. These tires are going to be trouble for him. Brady's going to be able to get his wave around because they're ahead of the leader as the pace car comes out. So he should be able to get a wave around here. Back on the lead lap, we know he has about 20 lap better tires, 17. That's going to matter here real quick.
Yeah, currently looking at the grid so far, Brady LaBeouf is our race leader. Nate Maurer there in second in the 971. Kerry Tribute in third. We got Justin White right there in fourth. Hess in the 86 in fifth. Tyler Thurman in that one truck's made the most of a difficult race right there in the sixth spot. Raul Meza in the 37th. Blake Lothian's all the way down to the 7th. Robbie Richards right there in 9th. Then we have Bullock in that 17 truck will be our top 10 to start off this last bit of racing here. The last little chunk of racing will have just over 28 laps to go when that green flag flies. But the pace lights are off of the pace truck here as we head down to the last corner, 3 and 4. We see some more trucks trying to keep pace here to get back up onto that grid or that tail end of the pack there. As we come around 3 and 4, we're going to go green flag racing here, Mike. This is hopefully the conclusion of the race, but we'll see if we have to use those overtime green-white checkers. As Brady LaBeouf, Nate Maurer, they're on that top of the grid, will take us to the start-finish line here. The green flag is in the air. We're on and racing once again here from the Darlington Raceway.
And let's see what Brady can do on the restart. If he can get a good start with his tires. I guess my scoring was wrong. I thought he was a lap down going to get the wave around. He was able to unlap himself, apparently. I don't know how that scoring worked out, but I'm going to trust it. Now, these new tires are going to show up right here. Yeah, I believe, anyway, unless he's so damaged.
Contact, Raul Meza in the 37.
And we're going to stay green. That's going to have big damage. I don't think he'll be able to keep pace.
Yeah, with 17 laps to go. Yeah, Brady's trying to hold him off there, Mike, as we head down to 1.
Brady running that high line might have got a little bit too much right there. He might have just too much damage. Nate's been so strong. We're going to see if the tires matter right here. Whoa, a little loose for Blake right there, too. Guy's pushing hard now.
Yeah, 16 laps to go. This is the time to go, Mike. It's Brady LaBeouf makes contact off of 4. White's going to feel uncomfortable with that draft coming off the 9. But here we go, heading down to corner number 1. We still have a lot of battles heating up on the track right there. You see Justin White in that 28. Kerry Tribute in that 7 now, right behind Nate Maurer in that 971. Kerry trying to break through here in this series as we head down the backstretch, down to corner number 3.
Yeah, Blake giving him a whole mirror full. We'll see if he's smart enough. He knows. Cannot throw it in on the high side. So aggressive move for Blake there and get back up into the top 5.
And I think that's really where he wants to finish, Mike. We talked about the struggles the 43 trucks had on this last bit of this run here to close out the race. He won stage 1 and 2. I think the most you could really take away from this race here, of course you want to win, but the way he struggled with that truck here in this run, a top 5 would probably feel like a win, the way that he's had to hold on that truck to keep it along the line, keep those positions here at top 5 wouldn't be so bad after winning last week at Bristol, and then here tonight the struggles he's had in this last bit of run. But with 13 laps to go here, ladies and gentlemen, we got Nathan Maurer leading the way in that 971. Kerry Tribute trying to break through in this series as well in the SibRacerHub.com Truck Series. As we head down to 3 and 4, we have Nate Maurer and Kerry Tribute battling for the lead.
Yeah, Nate is not running away with this. When he's running a lower line, this would ought to give a big run to Tribute down the back stretch here. Does not. Boy, that was a good corner for Nate. I don't know how he held quite as much run as he did. You see closing there, but higher in this corner, usually faster. So we'll see if he can close it in even more. If then you'll know he'll put that aggressive move on him in 1 if it need be for the race win. 12 laps to go, and we have set up for a great finish.
This is going to be one heck of a finish right there as Kerry Tribute trying to follow the leader around 1 and 2. Looks like he follows his own line around 3 and 4. He's going to cross this line here, make it 11 laps to go. Down to corner number 1, we see Justin White now trying to get his name into the running for the race win. We have 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack right there. A little bit more fanned out than what Justin wants. Blake Lothian has now worked his way back up in the mix as well inside the top 4 in that 43 truck. As Nate Maurer, our race leader, will take us down into the corner right now. Caution's out on the racetrack here.
Another caution. This is what we hope we didn't see, but let's see who's involved in this one. It's been such a great race so far. Let's see what happens. Looks like it might be the boss man there.
Yeah, it looks like the boss man may have gotten tangled up there, heading down to the corner.
I think he just came down, getting ready to enter the corner, didn't want to enter high, and I don't know if he didn't know the driver was there or not, but heavy damage on both. That might end both their nights. And, somebody slid right by there. Lucky, sliding right by.
Yeah, this is going to put a lot of pressure on our race leader, Nathan Maurer. See Morales is going to get tagged up in that as well late in that caution. It's unfortunate for Brady LaBeouf right there, but as I mentioned, has a win on the season, so solidified his spot inside the top 5 heading into this holiday break. We're going to go into after tonight's race, and not a lot of damage on that 9. Yeah, maybe just a lot of back-end damage there. Not a hard impact on the top side. It's going to come down here, make contact there. Oof. Yeah, a lot more contact there on that double tap, if you will, on the high side wall. But Mike, we're probably going to have around 5 or 6 laps to go once we get everything settled here, ready to rock and roll once again. You know, Nate Maurer wants to break through and win after his performance at Bristol. We have Kerry Tribute right there in that 7 who wants to win as well. One of those drivers that's in the basket of drivers that I was mentioning during that broadcast here that's just had bad luck throughout. You know, we had Justin White right there as well, who has a win on the season, trying to make it 2 wins on the season for Justin there. You know, really anybody's race. Now we're going to re-rack them here under caution. But you also can't forget about Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. You have to watch what he's going to pull out of his sleeve at the end of this race. So really anybody inside this top 5, you know, you have Thurman up there as well in the 1 truck. You have Raul Meza in the 37, Bullock in the 17. Really anybody's race here at the very end.
Yeah, Kyle Hess right there in 6th, running a real good race. He's always stout. We know that. I'm going to be interested to see the restart because, as again, we're going to talk about, do not spin the tires in the front of the field. I've seen it before. We've all seen it. If he can get away, he'll have a clear advantage. But what I'm interested in is the outside lane. Will Tribute have to let up enough to let Justin get below him? How are they going to come off? It's going to turn up the heat right here coming off of 2.
We'll see what happens here as we're still under caution here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series here. This is the Goble Memorial 200. My name is William Tiller. I've been joined in the booth by Michael McKinnon, and Adam Flieger has been on the decks here tonight, giving you all those awesome point of views of tonight's action from the Darlington Raceway. This is week number 6 here. After tonight's race, we'll head into a bit of a holiday break. We'll be back racing, I believe, in about 2 weeks' time, Mike, if I'm not mistaken there. Be back racing here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. As we're going to see, this pace truck's going to take us around corner number 4. The lights will turn off across that line. We'll go around one more time, and then we're going to go green flag racing to close out what has been an incredible race so far.
Oh, it's been a great race so far. It's a shame to see guys at the end. We kind of expect this. They turn the wick up a little bit, and they got to go. So I'm real interested on the restart, as we said. Spinning the tires is an absolute no-no. You cannot do it. You're going to bunch everybody up. But if he can get away, establish how he wants to enter turn 1, I think Nate will be okay. It's all up to him right here. If he can get the power down, get it into 1, he was stretching at the end there. I think he'll have a little better tire, but they're all cooled a little bit. But if he can get away, I'm going to call it right now. He'll win it if he can get away.
Yeah, it's all about this all-important restart here as the pace truck's going to take us down into 3 and 4. We're going to go green flag racing once we come out of this corner here. This is go time for all these drivers. Majority of the drivers inside the top 5 don't have a win so far. They want to break through. They want to get their names at the top of the table here heading into this holiday break we're going to have. But Barney is ready, and so are we up here in the booth. We are green flag racing once again here in the Goble Memorial 200, as right now a bit of a slow restart there as Nate Maurer will take us down to corner number 1 with a great restart.
Yeah, it looked like JB may have spun those tires as we talked, or he just sleep at the wheel, one of the two. See if Justin White's got anything for Nate right here. I like how Nate changed his line. Oh, boy, we got something brewing here.
Oh,
man. Inside. Hold her down there. Usually the top will prevail here. We'll see if Justin gets a run. He's going to have to, or he's going to get pinched. Good run out of the corner. Lothian the same way, going to give a push. These are guys that are learning how to run with each other. You see that right there. Blake could have pushed him into the corner farther and not broke quickly enough, and we'd have had a major melee, but these guys are really racing hard.
Really racing hard indeed, but this is exactly what Nathan Maurer wants to see out of his rear view. Definitely not mirror racing right now, but if he takes a look, he's going to see that these 3 drivers are battling out. This is going to open the door for Tyler Thurman as well on that one truck. We have top 5 all bunched up right now with 4 laps to go. We'll see if anybody has a run at the end of this race, but any pressure on the 971 here as we head down the backstretch right now down into corners number 3 and 4. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 single line around 3 and 4.
Yeah, I like what Nate's doing. He's changing his line, especially in 1 and 2. He keeps changing his line a little bit, put some dirty air on the front of Justin there, try to get him tight. He's changing it up. He's pulling a 10th here and there. You'll see there, he stayed lower a little bit longer. Everybody else up to the wall, trying to get as much momentum as possible.
Yeah, with 3 laps to go, throw up those 3s. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt as we head down into corner number 3 here from the Darlington Raceway. Still Nathan Maurer leading the way here on the apex of 3 and 4. We see Justin White right there in the 28 Machine Carrier Tribute in the 7. Blake Lothian in the 43. We're going to cross the line, make it 2 laps to go as we head down to corner number 1.
I expect to see Kerry try to put a move on Justin here. I think he's a little quicker. He just not getting the exit he needs off of 3 and 4 there. Is Justin doing a great job to defend on the high side. I don't know if either one of these guys can catch him, but if they can stay in the draft, that's their best opportunity. But that's out the window as soon as this white flag comes out.
As we come off of corner number 4, Nathan Maurer will take the white flag. Heading down to corner number 1, Justin White's right there in the 28. Carey Tribute in the 7. Who knows if they'll have enough speed to catch Nate Maurer, though, in the 971. Doesn't look like it around 1 and 2. Nate's going to take this corner very smooth as you're going to exit 2 down the backstretch right now. Justin White's got that thing to the floor. Down the backstretch right now. See if he has a run. Going to catch a little bit of the draft down to 3 and 4. Not going to be enough, though, as Nathan Maurer will easily come off of 4 and win the Goble Memorial 200 here and the Nazareth 360 Racing Network from Darlington and make it our 6th different winner of the season. And boy, what a win it was. He ran on the backside of Blake Lothian through stages 1 and 2, and he said, you know what, that's cool and all, I want to win tonight's race. And he did just that in impressive fashion, Mike.
100%. He's probably, like I said, been owed a couple. He's been one of the faster guys every week. This time the caution didn't bite him. Great win. He got a great restart through 1 and 2, and away he went. And well-deserving fastest truck of the night, in my opinion, once it all sorted out. So great win by Nathan.
Yeah, the way he was able to work through that traffic, all of his strategies paid off. You never saw him really falter outside of the top 3, top 5 at all through tonight's race. Held pace with the 43 truck. Once the 43 started to have problems, he said, okay, I can lead this thing on my own. He got back to the top of the grid, through all the lap traffic, through everything here tonight, Mike. He seals the victory here at Darlington, our 6th different winner of the season. And now I think folks have to watch out for this 971. He's got a little bit of a confidence, got a little bit of mojo now inside of that cockpit. We'll have to see when we come back from this holiday break. But what a huge win it is for Nathan Maurer in the 971.
Yeah, Nate, burn it down. Burn it down, buddy. Going to try to do the whole stretch here. Maybe you can blow them out for us. Whoa, wait and see. No, it was a fantastic run from Nathan. He was up front all night, which is where you want to be here at Darlington. You don't want to be in the hornet's nest. And then when it was time to go, he definitely went. Driver from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and the way the weather has been up there in the northeast, I'm sure this will heat them up just a little bit, maybe melt a little bit of that snow that's outside here. And what a early Christmas gift that has to be for Nate Maurer in the 971 to pick up a win in week number 6 here. You know, as you spoke about it, Mike, he's probably part of that basket of drivers I was speaking about. We had Carey Tribute right there as well, finished inside the top 3. You know, a lot of these drivers, you know as well as I do, have the skill, have the ability to win probably every week. They've just been entangled in late race cautions, you know, unfortunate middle of the pack incidences. But here tonight, there was none of that for the 971 as he wins the Goble Memorial 200 here tonight from Darlington Raceway. And we're just getting ready to interview our top 3 finishers here on the night. And Mike, man, what a race. I mean, I couldn't think of anything other than that. We had late race cautions there that really shook the race up. We had pit stops that reshuffled the grid there. I mean, it was dominated by Blake Lothian stages 1 and 2. Nate Maurer came into the mix there at the end. Just made it for just an exciting race. You're going to watch the finish of the race. You see Carey Tribute in the 7. You see White there in the 28. See right here, this is off of 3 and 4. Mike, it looks like we had a battle for second there on the apex of 3 and 4.
Oh, 100%. I thought Carey had maybe just a touch more speed, but Justin did a fantastic job running a defensive line, and being able to keep that run off the corner is major league here at Darlington, and able to pull him off the corner, come home for second. Great run for all these guys tonight. It really was. This is a place that can make calamity in a moment's time, and it was great running from everybody.
It definitely was, but I believe it is time to catch up with our 3rd place finisher, the driver of the number 7 truck out here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. That's Mr. Carey Tribute. And Carey, here tonight, we saw you inside of the top 10, inside of the top 5. That last stretch of racing, though, you made that 7 truck stand out. You got yourself inside the top 5. You worked your way up there. You were battling out there towards the end of the race. Take us through your race here tonight at Darlington, and man, what a 3rd place finish it was.
Thank you, Will. Been needing this finish for a long time. I knew I'm capable of it, just had to put the right pieces together. We got out of that one incident with 89, I believe, on the restart on cold tires, and we had a strategy of kind of saving our tires. Like everybody else, I was surprised everybody kind of saved as much tires as they did. I thought people were going to run through them a little bit quicker. Uh, but yeah, that last stretch of racing was just trying to go for it, see where I could get. I got up to second. Didn't think I had enough for a Nathan or even Justin, but I just got lucky and got around him.
Yeah, it looked like there at the end it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the end of the race. Did you feel like though if you could get up to Nate Mauer there at the top of the grid that you could put any pressure on him, possibly get around him, or did the rest of the field sort of feel like that it was Nate Mauer's race to lose?
I thought maybe he was saving some during that long stint. When I got up to second, I thought maybe there was a chance, but then that caution came out, and then after that, I was kind of just saving it, trying to stay in the top three if I could,
Right.
because I knew that that last restart was gonna be pretty rough.
Yeah, and Kerry, I think I mentioned you during these broadcasts here. You're part of that basket of drivers that I feel like you're going to break through here in the next couple of weeks. We had our 6th different winner with Nate Mauer winning here tonight. I spoke about your misfortunes throughout these races. How good does it feel to finally get a good finish out of these races, 3rd here tonight? And do you feel the same? Do you feel like you're going to break through here eventually?
I do believe I'm going to break through at some point here. I believe the super speedways I'm a little bit better, but that'll be later up in the playoffs if I can make it that far. But I'm pretty good at the mile half. I think New Hampshire next week I can save tires and be up there too. But yeah, I'm hoping one of these weeks I can break through. I was really close tonight, but I thought Michigan was my best opportunity so far this season.
Yeah, it's been one heck of a season so far, Carries. We're going to take a bit of a holiday break. Looking back on the start of the season so far, what can you take from this and what can you apply when you come back from break?
Just know that I can compete with the front guys out here every week. I believe any track we go to, so that's a lot of confidence for me. Just continue honing in my skills and trying to do better.
I like it. I like the confidence, Carrie, and I know that 7 truck will break through here eventually. But 3rd place finish here tonight, and with that podium finish, we'd love to give you drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody that you may have had watching here tonight or any sponsors that made this race possible for you.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my wife for letting me participate in this racing league. It's very fun. I want to thank everybody at the shop, A&G, Compressor Parts. That's what I work for, and pretty much my sponsor you see every week. And I want to thank Hunter Motorsports, Performance Motorsports, all the guys in there. We all push each other, and not last, but my family too.
Yes, sir. Well, Kerry, congratulations on that podium finish here today. You got to come home 3rd here from Darlington, but we want to congratulate you on that great finish. We want to wish you a happy holidays here coming up. Of course, we have Christmas. We have New Year's right the next weekend as well. So I guess we will see you in 2023 here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Great finish here tonight, my man, and have a great rest of your night. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
That was Kerry Tribune in that 7 truck here tonight. It's going to finish 3rd here in the Goble Memorial 200. And Mike, I believe you're catching up with our 2nd place finisher, a guy that has been in victory lane this season, but not here tonight. He's going to finish 2nd.
Hey, Justin White made that 28 look good tonight, buddy. I got to say, great work up through the field. Was that kind of your strategy tonight? Methodical, patient, take your time, wait for some guys to make mistakes and pounce when you could?
Yeah, Darlington's one of those technical tracks. You just got to be patient. If you overdrive it, the lady in black will come out and she'll give you a nice, good right-hand scar on the truck. So you got to be patient with the track. Race the track first, then everybody else. Keep the tires underneath you, because if you drive it too hard, you'll put too much heat in them. And once you get too much heat in the tires, you're just slipping and sliding all over the place. So just being consistent and smooth and steady is what'll get you there. I wish I had about 10 more laps, though. I'm pretty sure that being behind Nate, I would have pushed it a little bit harder than normal, and I think me and him could have had a pretty good battle there for the race win.
Yeah, I loved the line you were running there at the end. I know Kerry was putting the pressure on you. We all know that high line in 3 and 4 is the place to be in it, but it's hard to run. Was your truck pretty consistent where you felt like you could go to that high side whenever you needed it, not worry about it slipping out?
Oh yeah. I could put it on the bottom, right against the dotted line, or all the way up against the wall if I needed to. Just not too close to the wall, because that wall glitch coming out of 4 will get you. If you get to the wall here for some reason, I guess with this last update in iRacing, that it just sucks all your forward momentum out. And it definitely did not need any of that there the last few laps, because if that would have happened, Kerry would have pounced right on top of me, and he would have taken second. I don't know if anybody could have got to Nate, especially on just how new the tires were, how short laps we had. Get that leader always has that benefit of that good restart, and I don't think anybody was gonna catch him.
Yeah, that's what I was brought up right before the end. As long as he didn't spin the tires and could jump, it'd be hard to get to him, especially from starting on the outside, especially. But I got to say, man, I'm proud of the whole group tonight. Great race on a very hard track, and congratulations on second. I mean, what can you say? I know you're probably upset, but just a great run from you, and I'll give you this time to shout out anybody you want to shout out, man.
Yeah, I want to thank Nate, Doug, and Robbie. Thank my M1's Motorsports teammates as well, Hess, Morales, and whatnot for being teammates. Helping us get faster each week, especially that being consistent, bouncing stuff off each other, trying to figure out where we can find speed and whatnot is definitely there. I want to thank Grinds, the truck sponsor. Appreciate them coming on board and allowing me to run and kind of preach the good news of kicking chewing tobacco. If you're looking to do it, getgrinds.com. It's their coffee pouches. They kind of help fix that oral fixation that you're looking for and kick chewing tobacco. So appreciate them. And then also want to give a shout out to the sponsor for this week. Appreciate them coming on board. Hopefully we gave them good enough support with running the purple rims. It's a good cause, and I appreciate them. And of course, appreciate you guys putting on the broadcast, and appreciate Brady for dealing with all of our childish antics, as being the race, being the league admin.
Yeah, you got it, man. I can't wait to work with you soon too, as our next season's coming, and I'm going to join you guys, and I'm looking forward to it a ton. So, second place finish, number 28, Justin White. Appreciate it, Justin. We'll see you next year.
Yes, sir.
That was Justin White, number 28, finishing second here tonight at Darlington. But, Mike, I believe it is time to speak to the man of the hour, a guy that never faltered outside of the top 5, ran second most of the race here tonight, right behind the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. But until that final stretch of the race, I'd say that final 100 laps, Nathan Maurer had a switch engaged. He said, "It is my race to win." He did exactly that here tonight. Coasted through the field. He said, "I led the most laps at Bristol last week. I'm going to lead the last lap here tonight." And Nate, you did exactly that. You won here at the Lady in Black here tonight. Take us through how you're able to get the job done.
Yeah, it feels good to finally get it done. Felt like I got screwed out a couple times this season, but that happens. Yeah, it just hit me before the race tonight that I noticed that Blake Lothian name, and then it hit me. I remember that he seen him racing on TV before, and then I was like, "There's no way I'm beating this guy." And then me and him kind of, I don't know, about a quarter way through the race, it was kind of just me and him out front, and just kind of taking notes of him. And he asked me if I wanted to go around him, and I said, "No, I'm fine riding here." And I guess he just burned up his stuff, and I got around him. Then he eventually hit the wall, which helped me out a ton there. I mean, he was definitely quick. I felt like I had the best long run truck tonight, but he was there. Kerry was there at the end too. That's yeah. And I know Kerry's pretty good, but yeah, just that pit stop. I nailed that green flag pit stop pretty good, and got a pretty good. I think I picked up 2 seconds on Robbie there, doing that pit stop. But yeah, it feels good to finally get a win and lock ourselves into the playoffs.
Yeah, you definitely did that. Indeed, you became our 6th different winner on the season with this win here at Darlington. But Nate, take us through that battle. You just spoke about it just a little bit there with Blake. It seems as though you were right in that second spot. You were trying the inside a few times. You would come back behind Blake. You'd try the inside, come back behind Blake. When did you realize that the 43 truck was starting to have a little bit of an issue and that you could actually pounce on that opportunity?
Oh yeah, I noticed a lot of guys here. Actually, I think I might be like the only one. I feel like everybody likes to run high in 3 and 4, and I feel like that hurts the tires. I don't know. I back up my entry a good bit going into 3 and just kind of wrap around the bottom. Seems like if you want to run high, it kind of burns the right rear off, and you don't get the grip. And I was just kind of practicing a little bit of getting around Blake coming off of 4, because that's where I was probably going to try making the pass. But he hit the wall once, and I got to the inside. I told him to go ahead because I hate being out in the lead beginning of the run because I'm always scared I'm going to burn my stuff up. I'd rather be behind somebody and kind of pressure him a little bit. But no, Blake's a good guy, man. We battled good last week at Bristol, and he did. Yeah, he just didn't take tires during that one caution, and the caution came out late, and he had another set of tires in the pits, and that's what got him to win. But I mean, he was the best truck last week, so today we chose not to take tires there at the end of stage 1, and thank God we didn't, because that extra set is what put me in victory lane here today.
Yeah, it sure did there, Nate. And actually, my co-host, Michael, up here in the booth with me, actually spotted something there. You know, every time you would start to dominate a little bit, put a little bit more gap on the rest of the field, the caution flag would fly. And then you would start to dominate a little bit more, caution flag would fly. At any point during this race, were you getting discouraged by those yellow flags, especially those late yellows that we had there, that kind of caused the rest of the field to get bunched up? Or were you confident in your abilities here that you're going to close this race out?
Dude, I always get screwed over by something. So all my teammates, I'm not a short run kind of guy. I mean, all these restarts, I was pretty much just letting guys go in front of me. I need long green flag laps. Like last week at Bristol, after about 30 laps, I could start 25 laps. I could start catching Blake, and then caution come out. But tonight, I was very happy with tonight. I mean, we even got a green flag pit stop in here tonight. I need long green flag runs to stay up towards the front, and I knew that's what I was going to need to beat Blake here tonight, because I felt like it was a little bit better than him in the long run.
Now, heading into this holiday... Go ahead, I'm sorry, Mike.
Can I ask one quick question? I know I didn't want to jump in.
Yeah.
It's not even a question, Nate. It's a statement. I really loved your racecraft when you and Kerry were battling. The going to the bottom in 1 and 2, changing your line, pick a 10th there, change the air. It was just a fantastic job, man. You see a lot of guys, they're just committed to running the same thing over and over. You were able to move your truck around, change the lane, and then drive away. I just got to say, congratulations. A great run, dude.
Thanks, but I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and as we look at this holiday break, Nate, that we're going to take here into the Christmas break and New Year break and everything like that, as coming back into this racing in 2023, do you feel like there's still going to be that motivation, that hungerness for that first win? Or do you feel like getting this first win might cause you to relax a little bit? Or are we still going to see that same 971 there at the top of the grid?
I think we all know that answer. I mean, these guys pay $12 a week to come here and race, and everyone comes here to win. And
yes,
and so I mean, yeah, that win really does. I mean, yeah, the win means a lot to me. But I'm going to go in the next week or 2 or 3 weeks from now, whenever it is, and act like I don't have a win and just go win. But I hope guys just keep racing each other clean. There's some lack of racecraft in here. I ain't going to call out any names or numbers, but I just know if you get towards the middle or the back of this, in the middle of the back of this league, man, it's very, very rough. But I love racing. I know me and Kerry the first 2 weeks, I got wrecked by him the first 2 weeks, and I was actually kind of excited to see if Kerry was going to get side by side with me. I wanted for us to prove to each other that we can actually race each other clean, kind of like how me and Blake do. But luckily, I was able to keep him behind me. But I love the top. It seems like the top 5 to 10 guys are a lot of fun to race in here, and I hope it continues to stay that way.
Oh, yes, sir. And with that win, Nate, not only do you get the floor here in just a minute, you also get some little bit of a last-minute holiday gift idea, spending money for winning the race here tonight. So that's going to feel good as well. You got just a few more days to spend that. I don't know if you want to spend it on yourself or somebody else, but you're definitely going to take home some cash here with that win. But Nate, with that win, the floor is yours, my man, to thank anybody that you might have had watching here tonight or any sponsors that made this race possible.
Yeah, first and foremost, thoughts and prayers out to Robbie Robbie Richards' family and everything. Shame that he got. I didn't look at the replay. I heard he got taken out. I didn't see it yet, but prayers to him, his woman, and her family. Shout out to Redneck Nation, sponsor of my truck. Shout out to my teammates. Justin White is not a teammate, but in here he's not a teammate. He's a teammate every other league I'm in except for here. But shout out to him. Shout out to Robbie Richards. Shout out to Christopher Blanchard. Oh man, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody in there. Man, I forget who I'm forgetting. But shout out to you guys. If it wasn't, but big shout out to Brady also. If it wasn't for Brady, none of us would be here. So big shout out to him.
Yes, sir. Well, Nate, a huge congratulations on breaking through here in week number 6. You win here tonight in the K Goble Memorial 200. What a way to head into this holiday break. But Nate, we want to wish you a happy holiday season, a happy new year as well. We cannot wait to see that 971 back in the field in 2023. Guess we'll see you next year, Nate, but go celebrate this victory as you can. Go spend some of that last minute holiday money, my man. Congratulations on the big win.
Hey, you guys have a good week and have a happy holidays and a safe new year.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
And that was Nathan Maurer, our race winner here tonight at Darlington, as we're going to show those official race results on your screen here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Mike, any final thoughts about this incredible race we saw here tonight at Darlington?
Well, my first thought is this. Beginning of the season, most of these guys had not raced with each other. They don't know each other's tendencies. We saw a great race at a very difficult track tonight, and that tells me everyone is starting to learn everyone, and we're going to see better and better racing every week. We're starting to see the favorites come to the front, too, so some of these guys in the back are going to have to step up a little bit and see if they can push these guys as we get down the stretch run.
Yeah, and I think this goes along with what we saw in the Cup Series, the Real Life Cup Series last year. Mike, 19 different winners in that series here. We have 6 different winners here in this series. I think that just goes to show, Mike, a lot of these drivers are very good. Not taken away from the Blake Lothians of the world, Justin White's, got Nathan Maurer on the board now as well. But it just goes to show you, as they say in football, any given Sunday, I think any given Monday in this series, we could have a different winner every week just based off of the competition level. What we see every week, it's very clean racing. There's no malicious moves being made. Drivers sometimes get entangled in lap cars. We see some fender action, but nothing too malicious, nothing too out of the norm of a racing move, if you will, Mike. So I am curious to see when we come back in 2 weeks' time, if we're going to have the same 7-week winner, 8-week winner, if we're going to have a different winner every week.
Well, that's the beauty of Nazareth, everybody. Since the day we started this, we try to have the competition be as close as possible, and we've set up tiers to where you can move up and you go from trucks and you can go into Xfinity and you can go against better and better and better competition. And these guys will prove it every week, I promise. Stick around for the good show every week. We're going to bring it to you.
And I believe that's going to bring a conclusion to our broadcast here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Again, we had Nate Maurer win in the K Goble Memorial 200. A special shout out goes out to Robbie Richards and his family there for that devastating loss that his lady suffered here, especially during this time of the holidays here. So we want to send all of our well wishes and positive thoughts his way there, Mike. It's just an incredible time, and we want to memorialize Kay with this race here tonight. I hope that she's watching wherever she is of this race here tonight. It was an incredible race to watch, and I'm sure if she was watching on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, she'd be commenting on what a great race it was here tonight. But folks, we're going to go on a bit of a holiday break. We'll see you in about 2 weeks' time. So we want to wish everybody a happy holiday season, a happy new year as well. That's the following weekend. Man, Mike, these holidays are just going to hit back to back here. So I guess we'll see everybody in 2024 here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. But for all of us here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, my name is William Tiller. I've been joined by Michael McKinnon up here in the booth, and Adam Flieger has been the man behind the decks here tonight. We wish everybody a great night. A congratulations to Nathan Maurer. A happy holiday season. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks' time right here on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great night.